living live.
I've always liked the effects on that guitar.
It's all washy.
Yeah.
Wash.
Yeah.
What you sipping over there? Lemonade?
Just water. It's just dirty because of my coffee.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Coffee flavored water?
Flavored
Water with a coffee hue?
Yeah. Not quite a flavor. I think the flavor is more in my mouth than it is.
It's like just enough to hit your olfactory senses.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it smells like coffee, tastes like water.
Reminiscent of coffee.
Right.
It's like the third world country coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Where you're like, well, everybody gets a drop of coffee in their water.
Right.
You think it's coffee.
That just immediately made me think of Afghanistan right now.
Oh,
Bro.
man. I
Bro.
bet they do not have coffee right now.
No,
I'll be honest with you. Nobody
no.
is bringing coffee in.
Nobody's bringing anything in. Everybody's trying to get the fuck out.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Fuck, man.
So
Did
you heard about
hear
that bombing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the suicide bombing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about? This is the only of light about the situation I'm seeing that I think's funny. You know about the amusement park that they took over?
No.
They took over an amusement
We
park.
are first to take ride.
And they all rode the rides and did stuff, and then they burned the motherfucker down.
Wow.
And they bombed.
That's
We had too much fun. That was a sin.
Right,
Fuck this place. Like, that's the only funny part out of this whole thing I've heard.
the simple fact that they rode all the rides first.
They rode them. They went and had a blast.
What
You know,
if
they
it
were
was
all
just-
eating cotton candy, making
Right,
funnel
right.
cakes
What
and
if,
shit.
what if that was the whole thing? It was like, okay, if there is one ride that makes all of us laugh,
Yeah,
then we will
then we'll
not
keep
destroy-
it.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
not burn this
And
place
there's
to
always that one guy in the back just frowning the whole time. I do not like the log rides.
Right, right.
I get wet every time. I do not like it.
The seat is wet.
The seat is wet.
I sat down. The seat was wet.
This bar does not click. You pull it. You pull it back. It doesn't click. I feel unsafe. Sorry, guys. We have to make light of a terrible situation because it's so bad.
Not hilarious at all.
This is how we like to start our episodes.
a little bit of controversy.
With
Right.
Jesus.
shitty
The whole
political
time,
comments.
we're live, guys.
We are live.
We're live.
God.
Whoops.
Yeah.
We got one viewer.
Whose idea was that?
Who's seeing us?
Welcome.
We got a new person. Is it Haas? Is Haas our viewer? What up, Haas?
Haas, thank you for the follow.
We're gonna. Are we starting, guys? We going?
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I think we are. We are ready.
Oh, local record.
Yep. Local
1,
record.
2, 3.
We are recording.
We are record. Yo.
What's it?
Hello.
Hey, bro.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. I'm Scott.
I'm Trae.
And I'm Phil.
This week, we are crossing both our fingers and toes that we don't end up in a roguelike loop of not being able to finish these episodes because of storms.
That's
And this is not like the X-Men storm.
Not
No.
X-Men.
Not to be
storm.
confused
No.
with the X-Men
should
storm.
I be
No, not at
down
all.
if we had some X-Men storm?
We're talking about
Absolutely.
roguelikes.
I would get on my knees and bow down to
and
them.
Immortals.
And Immortals.
Now, does that have to be Halle Berry?
No, just storm.
Just storm.
Storm.
Just
Absolutely.
storm. Period.
I want the OG.
So,
What do you think of this? No, the OG Storm, like back in
Yeah.
her silver costume.
Oh, I love it. Love
you
it
know,
so much.
with her long hair and
with
everything.
with the droopy
Yes,
underarms. And,
absolutely.
Love it so
Sweet
much.
spot.
Fucking
Chef's kiss.
queen.
Absolutely. Queen Aurora.
Man,
Let's go.
Oh, I love her. Wait, so am I crazy about this? Didn't her in Black Panther?
Yeah,
Yeah,
T'Challa's her man.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, they just never did that in anything other than comics because of licensing. That's
Right.
really it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah, because that would be the ultimate power couple.
Fucking
as
seriously.
far as the MCU could be concerned. Like, it would
God.
be amazing.
Couple goals right there.
Absolutely, yeah, man, yeah. Even though I don't know if I want to be the dude whose wife controls the weather. When she gets mad, I don't put the toilet seat lid down. Right? We got
Every
problems,
time,
sir. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, how about this? Psh, power's out.
I
Now
will
what?
say,
Now what?
Storm seems to be very in control of her emotions.
Yeah,
most
she
of the
is.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
is
totally.
not worried about
Well,
it.
yeah, she had her experiences as a child. You know, she went through hell, and so
Mhm.
yeah, as a woman,
Plus,
she.
T'Challa, he cleans up after himself.
Oh,
He's good.
absolutely. Well,
I'm not worried
he's got
about
people
it.
for that.
The royal penis is clean.
I love that. Oh man, that was always my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah, really.
Royal penis is clean,
No, my
Your
favorite's
Highness.
where he makes her bark like a dog. Ruff, ruff.
A big dog.
Woof, woof,
Hop on one leg.
woof, woof. That's my favorite shit right there.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
That was so good.
So news.
News, yeah. Okay, this is just a funny
And-
little
and-
anecdote, but thank you.
Got it. Got it this
Nimpo.
time.
Hit him with a nimpo.
I understand.
We're getting
News
better.
nimpo.
The news Nimpo. We're getting better about it.
That's right.
Was that a go? Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
that was
Was
good.
Is that a go? You got He did
that?
it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Hold on, man. Hold on. It's getting a little foggy in here.
Well, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it.
I'm about to start multiplying. That's my clone jutsu right there.
Oops. No,
So news.
this is super funny. We've been
With
playing
12 minutes.
Yeah,
and-
we've been
yeah.
playing 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll continue to say it's intriguing.
It
The
Yeah.
more I play it, the more I like it. The more like I'm a little frustrated because I can't figure it out at this point. Like I
Yeah.
got so far, and I'm like, but great voice acting. Like I said,
Yeah.
James McAvoy, Daisy
Great
Ridley,
tone.
and do you like Huey Lewis in the news? What's his name?
Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
Dafoe,
it's
man.
like-
What are you talking
like-
about?
I get- when
What's
it
his
just-
name?
Well, I mean, and there's so much going on. Like
Yeah.
you can really create
Grins
some.
McGee, man.
You can create some like truly poetic, like scenes. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
one point I actually ended up giving my wife sleeping pills, and if you talk to her long enough, she won't have time to get to bed.
Oh, did
so
you?
she'll pass out. No, she'll get up. She'll pass out on the ground.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
she
right.
passed out on the floor, and then I went and I turned the lights off, grabbed dessert, put it on the table, sat down, and started eating dessert
By
until
yourself?
the cops showed up. You know, and it was just so hilarious to me, just sitting there watching him just go down. This is good, you know. And she's passed out on the floor.
Come on,
And then-
open up in there.
Yeah, exactly. And so he kicks in the door because I locked the door. He
Yeah.
kicks in the door, and he's like, "What the fuck's going on in here?"
Well, she's
man, I'm
asleep,
just-
and
I'm just
I'm
eating dessert.
enjoying my souffle here.
We got another one. She's not gonna eat it.
Right.
That would be cool if that was the solution. You just put
You-
the other
you
one
just-
down. He's like,
yeah,
"You know what? I love souffle."
Just give him dessert.
Oh, yeah, right.
Maybe if you offered, then
Right.
this wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
We'll
Did-
find the watch later.
Did you ever think about that?
You know, right?
But no, so James McAvoy. This was years ago. I don't remember the film he was talking about working on. It was obviously a long time ago because it was when Oblivion launched.
Okay.
James was talking about how, with the 12 minutes situation, he's been interviewed by a lot of game companies, and of course they're always like, "You a gamer? You really fucking play games? They're gonna burn us online if you don't play games. You gotta say yes.
Right.
You have to mention 3 titles, please."
Just three
Super
popular
Mario
games.
Brothers and Madden
And
and,
the
Madden
one,
2022.
Don't say
Yeah,
ice climber.
that's-
Don't say ice climber.
But it turns out he's actually always been a really big RPG guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Like JRPG.
No, American RPGs.
Okay.
So he
Yeah.
really likes that. I mean, I
Skyrim,
guess
Oblivion.
yeah,
all the-
exactly.
is that- okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when Oblivion came out, he was working on some movie, something with Kate Blanchett. I don't remember what it is. And he was saying that every morning, he had to get up at like 6, and or he was being picked up at 6 to go to
So
set.
that means get up
Right.
at like 4, 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, with him, apparently it wasn't.
You
Because
just
he
stay up?
he kept playing Oblivion all night, and he said he's one of those just one more whatever
Right.
gamers. He's always he's that guy.
Yeah.
And so he pulled an all nighter, and he didn't even realize it, and he looked at the clock, and it was 5:40, and he was
I've
just
done
like,
that many a time.
so he went to work. He did his thing, but he said that he had a rough day. You know,
Obviously.
and whatever the role was had very very intense lines and a lot of dialogue that had to get perfect. That kind of thing. And he went home, and he to you know wherever he was staying, and he took the disc out of his 360 and he walked in the kitchen and he turned the eye on his stove on and put that shit
And
on
burn
there
it, right?
and watched it burn. And he went,
Gotta squash
okay,
this problem.
okay, I guess I'm done.
Right.
Okay, I'm done. he was talking about just how addictive of a personality he has, and you give him something like that that's almost endless,
Right.
and well, that's life now.
I mean, that's
It's-
very easy to understand.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean,
can
Hades
tell
has
you-
taken over, hasn't
right?
it?
Hades is that
Absolutely.
way. Well, even just as far as the Elder Scrolls games,
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
I was
really,
a kid
yeah.
playing Daggerfall,
Yeah,
there
man.
were many times that I saw the sun come up and I had school that morning.
Oh,
You know, and
yeah.
you just lose track of all time. You know, it's
Yeah.
like. You know, when you're in a game where they have their own day and night cycles, it's just like, oh no, I'm doing fine. I'm sure. You look at the clock; it's like 5:45 a.m. Ooh. I mean,
This
it's
is
only
gonna be
4
a
hours
rough
of sleep
day.
anyway. Might as well keep playing.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, God.
When it's funny when that happens too. When you start prioritizing finishing missions or bosses
Yep.
rather than sleeping.
Yeah.
You're like, I mean, I could deal with no sleep for
Screw
a day.
today.
I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel a lot of the time.
I'll make it
Sleeping
up
when
in
I'm
math
fucking
class.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
While you're over there jumping up and down over and over to get your acrobatic skill up.
Swim against the wall.
Right for
Oh yeah, we all know that.
Just sneaking everywhere.
for real. Just
I didn't send you this trailer.
Mod
Oh.
God. No, I don't know what that is. Is it Mad God?
It
Mod
looks
God.
really cool. We
Then-
just found out about this movie.
Then we're just gonna make a quick.
Wait,
quick
no,
note of it.
I think I have seen
It's
that
stop
trailer.
motion?
Yes, I've seen
and it
that.
looks crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Good.
Yeah,
oh,
I
I'm
have
so
seen
glad
that.
you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know much about it except what it's Philip Tippett.
Phil Tippett.
Phil
yeah,
Tippett.
Phil Tippett.
Yeah.
That's all we
I
know.
thought I sent that to y'all.
Maybe you did. Maybe you did. I don't know.
Okay.
We send so much stuff back and forth.
Right.
Sometimes
yeah.
it gets confusing.
It's
You
just
know.
a litany of links.
Yeah. I mean, we've had that happen a couple of times where like we send something, we're like, wait, I sent you that 4 days ago.
Right. You also sent 30 other links.
While I was at work, and then I
Right.
check them when I got home. Yeah. But yeah, Mad God. It's a Phil Tippett stop motion film that
Yes.
looks fucking ridiculous.
We're gonna watch it and probably do an episode on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably my ass. That's happening.
Right.
Yeah,
That's,
that's
it.
happening. Yeah.
There's no problem.
Yeah, that's happening.
I don't know when that's launching.
There
The
is no
guys
try, only do.
just
Thank you, Yoda.
Look, yeah, there's only do. Yeah, but he also says only Sith think in absolutes. So what's up with that, Yoda?
Right.
He's
Huh?
a,
Uh-huh.
he's,
Huh?
Uh-huh.
look, he's what is he over like 900 years old? Like, cut him some slack.
He's a, he's a gray Jedi.
That's
at that
right.
Point.
You know, well, I'm sure there was a moment, you
Yeah.
know, probably when he was, a baby, even though that wasn't the real Yoda.
Real baby,
You
but
know,
there
over there
was a
eating the
Yoda
eggs.
as a baby.
I'm sure
you
he
know?
was eating eggs in his
Yeah.
time, you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're trying to do a young Yoda situation. Like,
sure.
I think that's what they're going to do with some of the High Republic shit.
Yeah.
Is that because he was technically alive during the end of the High Republic era, right? So
Was he only like 200?
yeah, he
What
was
would
only
be
like 200 years
yeah,
old instead of 9. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
900 years old. You are.
When 900 years old, you reach. Look as good. You will not.
That's it. That's it. Exactly. But yeah, Mad God. Check out Mad God.
Definitely watch the
watch
teaser.
that trailer.
Watch
That's
it.
it, man.
Yeah.
Looks wild.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah,
So
that's not really
16
news.
years
Just something
later.
cool that we found out about.
Yeah.
You know,
16.
16. It's been 16
It took
years.
him that long to make it.
16 years, bro.
Looks like it.
Dude.
Wow.
This might. That
Wait.
actually might be a good
What are you
one.
talking about? You're still talking
Oh,
about
you're
Mad
talking
God?
about- yeah,
I'm talking about, I'm moving on to that
this
next
one.
topic.
This
Yeah,
next one
there
is
you
a
go.
16 years in the
16
making. You're
years in the
completely
making.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Psychonauts 2.
Yeah.
This is
boy.
a big deal. This is
Yeah.
a big deal. We had the Psychonauts VR game, which is cool. It's quaint. It's got its
Yeah.
little thing. I got distracted, never went
It's
back
actually
to
canon,
it.
too.
It's canon. And once I got into Psychonauts, I realized that immediately. I'm like, oh, this picks up on the
Right.
fucking space or
Yeah.
on their plane,
Yeah.
which is where you are in the thing. So all the stuff that you got to mess with in VR, well, they're still sitting around in that same room.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's directly canon, you know.
Nice.
But that game's only like maybe 2 hours long or something like that.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a pretty short experience.
yeah, I'd like to stream it again. Do you have it?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I actually bought a physical copy of that
Oh, nice.
because
Okay.
I feel like one of these days it's going to be worth something.
It probably will.
You
I
know?
do need
Yeah.
to borrow your Xbox so I can play through the first one.
Yeah. At some point, I'll let you borrow the Xbox, and we'll get that.
Have you ever touched it at all?
No.
Really?
Oh
No.
man,
great.
I've only heard people talk about it online.
Right, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's my only.
I feel
only
like
It's
Psychonauts and like Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Are like those two like golden geese.
Yeah.
Of
different
gaming.
gameplay,
Right.
but very much the same kind of.
Like tone.
Impact. Well, I mean, that too.
And the care that they put into those games, you can tell the developers love the world. You can tell the
Yes.
developers like think about every character as a thing, not just a device to get you from here or there.
Right.
Like, they are a person. They
Right.
care about these.
They
things.
have their own history.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it's like a, kind of that ensemble piece as well. Like
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
they all, work together. The way they all, their relationships
Yeah.
are very, very important as well.
Hell yeah.
But they
and
also
Psychonauts
are
2 is-
two series that refuse to give you a sequel in a timely fashion. But they tell you that they're going to give you a sequel, and they let you think
Eventually.
about that for 15, 16
let it
years of
stew.
your life.
They let yeah.
right. They let it marinate.
At least with
Let it
Psychonauts
simmer.
2, they were just kind of like
ferment.
Right.
Well, they had to let the game ferment.
Yeah.
They've actually had Psychonauts 2 done for a while. They've just had it in
Put it
barrels.
underground. Yeah. It's like a good kimchi.
That's
You know,
right.
like-
man. Well, it fermented
Oh, God.
properly.
Yeah, dude. Nice.
It came
It's
out.
gotten great reviews left and right. I haven't had a chance to play it.
Not at all.
No, not
Okay,
at all.
okay.
Not at all.
The beginning of it, like I said, it picks up directly after what's going on. It's fucking charming. It is funny. The graphics dude, it's weird to look at because it looks.
Dated, but not.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
both things at once. It's
Right.
like when you look at all the character models, you're like, oh, these are kind of simplistic, but they look exactly like the old ones, just better quality.
Right.
And then you notice that like they have nice like subsurface scattering and stuff to where like when there's light behind their hands, they look like clay kind of, and they
Right.
have this like all the textures just look nice and perfect, and everything's homogeneously good looking. Like
Right.
there's not
Weird.
there's not there's not stuff that you look at and you're like, oh well, this object kind of sucks. No, everything has just the same level of quality over
Right.
it, you know.
We got to think about like how long it took them because they've been working on this game for a long time, and so to continuously have to update your models and
Yeah.
update your models and
Yeah.
update your models. Like, oh god,
Uh-huh.
okay, now this game has taken another 4 years, so now it kind of looks like trash. Update it again and keep overhauling like that. Like, that can lead to a
Duke Nukem Forever situation.
or a Final Fantasy 15
True.
situation.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, the same
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
right? But somehow they managed to avoid the pitfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's incredible.
Yeah, and they pick up with the same charm that they left last time at a fucking bullet train pace. Like as soon as you jump in it, it's like, well, here's action.
Awesome.
We're already in somebody's mind. You know what I mean? They don't even screw around with
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm not gonna say too much about it other than Psychonauts 2 is amazing.
And that's Game Pass, right?
And it's on Game Pass.
course
Cool.
That's right. Yeah, and the first
Beautiful.
one's on Game Pass, so you can play that one first and then play this one if you haven't played the other one.
There you go.
You know, yeah, Game Pass is killing it. Psychonauts 2, I would say it's worth the $60
Right.
if you don't have Game Pass.
Yeah.
Especially if you like charming platformers, and they've fixed some of the problems from the first game. Like
Right.
it feels better, the platforming's better. I still think that he's got a weird jump arc.
Yeah.
He kind of
He always
falls
has.
straight.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's got like almost like Castlevania jump arc, high and
Yeah.
then real
And
fast.
then-
Right.
yeah. And then straight down.
I'm gonna make it. Oh, pit.
Oh no!
Right.
I wasn't there.
Nope, dead.
Oh yeah. So speaking of another sequel, I Expect You to Die 2 just
Yes.
launched, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that TWO or T?
As well, I
as
expect you
well.
to die as well.
I expect you to
You should
die.
also die.
Missed the bond.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're
That's
playing
why
off
they did-
of.
yeah,
That's the whole
absolutely.
reason they did it.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, it's a VR puzzle game that's super quirky. It's made by Shell Games. So it's
Yes.
the same guys that did Until You Fall that I was
Cool.
talking about.
Yeah.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, I just showed him.
That's
that
a
since-
wild game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the game's
I like it.
shit.
Uh,
as far as roguelikes are concerned.
Oh, dude, it's
Mm.
we'll get
We'll
there.
We'll get
there.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gameplay is exactly like the first one. It's just it's a seated experience.
Yes.
You sit there in your chair. You have shit to mess with,
Right.
and you got to figure out how to not die because everything kills you.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you do.
And it's
kills you.
usually heavily time dependent as well.
Yes,
So it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a trap is triggered. All right, you got to get out of here. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do it? You know.
And
So,
you kind of have
cause and
a
effect.
telekinesis thing going on,
Yes.
so you can pull objects over. You can take an object and push it out there, and then manipulate it and put it in a thing.
Right.
You know, so
It's almost
so
like
you-
a level-based puzzler, where
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
level itself
Escape
is the
room.
puzzle.
You
Yeah,
could say
exactly.
that.
Yes,
It's exactly
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Bingo.
it's wonderful. The second one though, Will Wheaton does prominent role in it.
Love
you
it. Love it.
Nice.
Well, dude,
Let's go.
I love me Little Crusher.
Yeah.
Little Crusher over there. I think it's so funny that he's one of those guys that like everybody watching Next Generation just whether you liked him or not, it doesn't really matter. Like everybody knew who Will Wheaton was as
absolutely.
as the what's his name? What's his first name?
God, all I think is his mom.
Yeah, I know. Beverly.
Beverly
Crusher.
Boy.
Yeah.
No, Wesley.
It's Wesley
Wesley
Crusher. Yeah,
yes.
I was like, his name's not Will Crusher, but
Right.
it is a W.
Yeah,
I know it's a.
His name is Wesley.
Yeah, well, but everybody, everybody knew Wesley. But then as soon as Will got older, he was just like, yeah, I'm a complete nerd, and everybody was like, we love you because
Right,
of this.
exactly. That's
We
exactly what I
love
wanted from you. Yeah, you are.
Now he's king of the nerds. is
Yeah,
Will
what was
Wheaton
he?
is.
He was president in Ready Player One.
Oh,
he was voted
dude.
president. I think for
missed
4
that.
terms or whatever.
Wow.
Like they just keep re-electing.
It's always Will Wheaton.
Might be a
That's
good
right.
idea.
Yeah, man.
Actually.
He speaks for all of us. But yeah, it's I Expect You to Die too. It's only VR, so sorry if you don't have a headset. But if you do, ooh, this is a winner. $25. I'd say it's completely worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just for the quirky voice acting. And this is the kind of thing that like you're not going to get motion sickness from, because since it's a seated experience, you
Right.
can kind of pop anybody in and they'll have some fun with it.
Yes. Yes.
Night is Coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one was this? Because seriously, this is one of those that I wrote down,
This-
and I was
okay,
thinking we all had
so,
more information.
So
on
I
this
watched
than we
the trailer,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really show very much, other than maybe there's a village, like a town
Yeah.
building.
There's a
mechanic.
town building mechanic, and
and
then
you
it looks
have
like there's
to
a
maybe
dungeon crawling as well.
Yeah,
right?
and you have to defend the town from monster. I guess that's what
Yeah.
I don't know. This trailer was kind of
It seems
confusing
like
it makes
about
me
like
very-
what
The freaks come out
what
at
it
night.
actually
right,
was.
or
Yeah.
like kind of like Terraria.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
Terraria was the same way, built
Yeah.
during the day, but at night it's hell.
Yeah.
And it seems like it kind of takes cues from A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones for you that
yep.
like to call it that.
Mm.
Whereas winter is coming, like the long night. It seems like there is a long night.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so you have a lot of time to prepare for this long night, but when
once-
it's nighttime, it's going down.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So
And the beasts
You
look
better
crazy.
bunker down.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
looking cool.
it looks really interesting. You know, we haven't really seen a lot on it,
Yeah.
but that's still that's a fun. I like seeing tower defense coming back in a non-mobile
yeah.
fashion. I like
Okay.
seeing like the old school like PC style,
Right.
like Age of Empires, like Civilization. I love seeing that actually represented well in a console space.
Oh, yeah.
Because once
Yeah.
upon a time those things would not work on console. They had to really do a lot of finagling to make SimCity work.
Dude,
Right,
let alone something
SimCity
like
on Super
Super
Nintendo
Nintendo.
was.
It was rough, but it was good.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah. But
yeah.
if you play the PC version, then,
Then
it's
it
like,
was
oh no,
just-
this is trash.
There's-
Yeah.
You know?
Well, did
There's
you
no
know
comparison.
they put StarCraft on N64?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was kneecapped,
Yeah.
dude.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and you had to use that stupid
The-
analog
the
stick to
penis
move
stick.
to move a fucking cursor around.
Yeah.
Nah, it was no good.
No bueno. You know?
I
And
think
so,
you only had the D-pad to have hot like buttons assignable. So I think you could
Jeez.
only have 4 like groups. Of
I don't
it.
remember. I played
Dude,
it very
it was
briefly,
so
and I was
bad.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
No.
Warcraft
I'm
for
just
the
gonna-
PlayStation
just-
again,
Yeah,
not
it's
good.
I don't have to do this.
Those kind
you
of
know?
games
Like,
just don't unless it's a one of those
don't
that's made
translate.
specifically for consoles, like
Right.
Civ Revolution.
Yeah.
Civ Revolution was perfect for consoles. I still think it's a shitty Civ game,
Right.
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 But it worked great for consoles,
Yeah.
But
But
It is
not-
heavily
not-
Night
limited
is
by
Coming
control.
looks like it'll be just fine. Though,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, something to keep your eyes on.
What's up with-
Hopefully we get more information
Yeah,
about that.
hope we get something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gamescom being this week, I mean, there were a lot of things that were teased and
Yeah.
announced, and there are a
Right.
lot of questions.
I mean, hell, I didn't even put Halo on this list. You know.
I mean, so Halo's
Halo's
gotten
coming
a-
out in December.
A release date for
yeah.
December.
It's again going to be on Game Pass. They're not going to have the co-op, and they're not going to have the Forge when it launches.
Right.
But they're gonna have just the single player campaign
Single
and the
player.
multiplayer.
Yeah,
so-
that's right.
Yeah.
And I feel mixed about this because I agree that co-op is a big deal for Halo. You know, co-op's always
is.
been a big deal for Halo.
Yeah.
It is.
But isn't it more of a big deal for your second and third playthroughs?
I say no, only because, for some of us, some people don't like to play multiplayer. Some people don't want to just jump in and get shot at and get sniped on by people who've been playing for 20 plus years, right? Sometimes it's like you want to sit down with your significant other or your friend and play a game together.
And it is supposed to be couch co-op.
Exactly.
So,
Well, it always has been, right?
Yeah.
And so the problem is that that's always been a staple of Halo's identity.
Right.
Yeah.
Halo was one of the first FPSs to really offer that and offer it in such a full-fledged fashion that, for those people who don't, go to LAN parties and such, you still have a way to enjoy that in a multiplayer space.
Right.
And have that same little wonder of, looking up at the sky and seeing the top of the Halo ring and be like, oh my God, and then get rolled over by your partner driving a Warthog. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, you get out, I'm driving.
Fucked up your overshield.
Quintessential Halo experience right there.
Yeah, right?
Getting run over by your partner.
Absolutely.
Motherfucker running ahead to get on the gun before you can. Like,
The Warthog is a very satisfying vehicle.
It is.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. Yeah. As long as they get that kind of stuff right with Halo Infinite, I think it'll be fine. I don't mind waiting a little bit for the co-op just because I don't think I have somebody to play with right now. Since we can't play, since we're sharing my Game Pass account, we can't play with each other, right?
Right, right. Well, if it were worth it, I'd pay for it. But the truth is that I haven't been impressed by a Halo since 343 took the reins. So.
But is it worth it to pay for Game Pass to get it, not to buy the Halo? You know what I'm saying? Because if Halo's $60, that's 6 months. That's half a year of Game Pass.
My
you know what I'm
issue
saying?
is that I feel like if I want to play Halo, I'll play Destiny 2.
Which, by the way, Destiny 2 is now cross-play.
Well, it took them for long enough to get that going. That was supposed to have happened a couple of months ago, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And so Destiny 2 is crossplay, but they're also releasing a new expansion coming at the beginning of next year as well. So we're about to have a huge expansion hit. It's called
the base game is free.
The base game is free.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's across everything. Base game's free.
Yeah. Yes.
Fuck, dude, I'm gonna grab it on PC, and
but
we
you
should
still have
mess
the
with it.
expansions. I was thinking about
Yeah.
this last night. I would love to play some Destiny. I mean, if you love Halo,
Dude,
that's all it is Halo expanded.
We
right?
should just play at the beginning of it, just so I can kind of get the experience. I'd love to jam on that with you.
We can do that tonight.
Yeah. Would you want to start a new character? Do a stream?
I can start a new class.
Okay. Cool.
And so because I really main hunter, so my hunter is decked out. But I think
I was a warlock.
Yeah. We never played?
No, I
you
was
downloaded it, but you never.
Destiny 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I
gotcha.
played a decent amount of Destiny 1. I want to say I played with you guys. Did I not play with you guys?
Maybe you did. That was so long
that
ago.
Was so long
We've been
ago,
playing
dude.
Destiny 2
that
for
was
so long. I
know.
forgot Destiny 1 was even a thing, It's like I thought it just came out as number 2.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll try that. We'll definitely try that.
Absolutely. The name of the new expansion, this is one thing I wanted to see. Hello. It's the Witch Queen.
The Witch Queen.
Yeah.
Not
so
the Witch King. Okay. This is not Nazgul.
That is February 22nd, which is right around the corner from Horizon Zero Dawn, which is right around the corner from King of Fighters 15.
Well, real quick on HZD before we keep going. Got that 60 frames per second patch.
Hey,
nice.
Give me one moment, sister. Hey, Mama, how you doing, baby? Hey. Yes, I'm doing well, Mama. How you doing, beautiful? No, I'm gonna send you a link. Just tune in and watch our show. We're live on broadcast right now. Okay. Love you too. All right. Bye, baby.
Goodbye, Mama.
I'm a mom.
That's right.
I'm a mom.
We're going to have both of our mamas on the
for
stream.
real.
Can you
you
got to send your mama a link.
I'm about to send my mama a link right now.
We have
my mom
she doesn't care.
She don't Twitch.
She don't Twitch.
Yeah, right.
My mama don't.
Well, you don't have to. You just have to click the link and
That's
then.
right.
You
don't
anonymous.
have to
You can
sign
still
in.
listen.
We'll still get a
I'll
viewer.
send her
I'm
the
about to send
link
it
when
to
I
her
get
right now.
home. She'll be like, "What is this?
She's clearly on the road.
Why did you send me this?"
That's the thing. My mom just won't check her messages until like tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You know. And so here, I'm gonna send her a link right now.
Well, it
Let's
seems
see
to
if
be
she
the
pops
same
on.
way
That'd be
with
awesome.
posting stuff to Instagram, right? You know, oh, we're live, and then it's like
Oh God!
hours
yeah.
later you get a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
People are like, yeah, man. 48 people like, yeah, I saw you were live.
Did
I'm
you
like,
go
well,
see us
why'd
being
you-
live?
Just
Did
click,
you like,
click the link,
Guys,
man?
the best,
does it actually
you know?
give you a link?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
the
Yeah,
best
I posted
way
an actual
to make sure you don't miss any of these episodes, we do
Yeah.
them every Saturday.
You hit a ding dong bell.
Ding the bell.
Ding
dong.
the bell.
All right. So you
Ding
were
the
saying
bell.
about Horizon Zero
Zero
Dawn.
Dawn
got a
Yes.
60 frames per second patch.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Which is funny because a lot of us were kind of expecting them to make us pay for it.
I know.
Right?
I was too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But at this point, I have the base game. Frozen Wilds was
Yes.
free at one point, so I
Yes.
got that too. And then now we got a 60 frames per second patch.
Is this
Right.
for the? This
I'm-
is
I'm
for
gonna
the first
jump back
game
on
because the
it.
second one's not out yet.
No, the,
Yes,
fir-
it's
the
the
second
first
one
game.
got a release
First.
date
Oh,
for
okay.
February 18th,
Oh,
Oh,
2022.
it's February. Okay.
So once
February.
again, right there in that same pocket of
Dude.
time.
Another
February's
game
gonna
that
hurt.
I need to play.
Ooh,
gonna be-
February's gonna hurt.
Dude, you really should, because the problem with Horizon Zero Dawn is that it came out a week before Breath of the Wild.
Right, and,
And
that's
so
that's
it-
where that's
has
where
some
mine
similarities,
was, 'cause
too.
I was
Well,
just-
it's
Some-
open world in that way.
You got the
sure.
bow slowdown.
Okay, you got a bow.
You got
you got
the-
a bow, but they are
You got a
dramatically
bow.
different games.
there are no
But the
robot
problem-
dinosaurs in Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Too
That
bad.
that I
right.
know
and,
of.
and, no, and they don't lens flare as hard.
Oh my
Or they
God!
lens flare
It's
so
Michael
hard.
Bay all over the place on that.
absolutely-
shit.
No,
Absolutely.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J.
That's what I mean,
Abrams,
JJ.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
you're right.
It's old J.J. Abrams, right?
But I mean, I do. I feel like. Well, I don't feel like the fact is that Breath of the Wild really kind of took a lot of the wind out of Horizon Zero Dawn's sales and sales.
Well, and
you know,
I think just for
like
that,
that.
first little bit.
No,
but,
dude.
Like,
a lot of
'cause, I
people
mean,
never went back because Breath of
Really?
the Wild took a lot of people, like, people put like 50, 60, 70, 80 plus hours into
True.
it. And by that point in time, you have new games still coming out back to back
Right,
to back.
I got
So
you.
there are a lot of people that never went back. And then furthermore, the rivalry existed after that. People compare
Yeah.
the two items.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Instead of like, it's kind of like what they did with The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Oh,
they take these
yeah.
two IPs that have nothing to do with one another and
And
put
make
them
them-
into direct competition.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So then people pick a side. And most people pick Breath of the Wild, right? And so there are a lot of people who never really took the time to enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn or see what it had to offer. And I was loving that game.
Yeah.
And then Breath of the Wild came out and screwed it up because I have to play it.
Yeah,
You know? And it's
absolutely,
like,
yep.
okay. So now subsequently, whenever I've tried to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn, twice I've run into a glitch that kept me from progressing in the game,
Oh.
which really
Yeah.
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
That'll-
one
that'll-
gate won't open up, and then I can't.
Yeah,
progress.
that'll
you know?
that'll kill an interest in a game for me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
real fucking quick.
Man, you
It
had the
just
Returnal thing
yeah.
happen.
Right, absolutely.
What the
Game-breaking glitch.
No.
Yeah, and
Maybe
so
maybe they patched that out.
well, hopefully by
Probably.
now, hopefully.
By now, hopefully.
And so, but with this patch, it makes me definitely want to go back and play that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
because Horizon Zero Dawn is a masterpiece.
It's pretty awesome.
It's very
yeah,
good.
I got past the first open area and I got to the second one and I felt like I was drastically underleveled.
yeah.
Because I did realize that
There are hidden dungeons and hidden bosses that you
and-
have to do, man. That optional shit.
they want you to finish everything in the area before
Absolutely.
you move on.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, so I went ahead and got to the next one, and it was just as soon as you see those fucking flying things, they just started stomping me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll go back. Especially
Right,
with
to
this
see
patch.
it in,
yeah.
in 60 FPS.
Epis.
Ooh,
Epis.
boy,
60
4K 60 FPS.
I don't know
all
what
about
that is, but it sounds nerdy.
So yeah.
Yeah. Man, I also want to
Love
play. Yeah, dude, Keith's so funny. I also want to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider because it got a 60 frames per
Yes.
second patch
Yes,
too.
it did. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, and these are games that either they were PlayStation Plus or they're in the collection.
Right. So,
So,
I mean, you
know.
have them. If you
Yeah.
have a PS5, you definitely have them.
It does make me wonder though. Does that mean that they're going to do that treatment with all of the collection games? Huh? Because
time,
where
probably.
is
Uncharted.
my 60 frames per second patch for Last Guardian?
Yeah, we're gonna see that. Wait, no, I thought Last Guardian already got it.
No, the only thing it had was that unlocked frame rate if you have the disc
Okay.
version.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
right.
not even 60, it's just uncapped.
I don't know why I thought that they had already put out an actual 60 FPS for.
I think
for
they did
Last
it for
Guardian.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they did
Okay.
it for the
They
remake.
definitely
of
did that. They
Yeah.
definitely did that.
But not
But
for.
I would expect
Last
it, man.
Guardian.
I mean,
Yeah.
because why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You know, they give you all these games, and the last thing you want to do is, play a PS4 game on your PS5 and
It's
it looks
the
like
same.
a PS4 game.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you have Ghost of Tsushima hitting as hard as it is, especially when you have now Horizon Zero Dawn, you got The Last of Us 2,
God of
all
War.
of these God of War. You know, everything looks
Playing God of War at
War.
60
right.
is a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I dealt with it at 30 just because it was so damn pretty.
Yeah.
But playing it, nah, man, parries are easier and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be the same thing with Last Guardian. That game would be gorgeous at full 60 frames per second.
Absolutely.
You know? But because of
I wonder how much
lagginess,
interest
because
surrounds
of the-
that.
I mean, probably not a lot. That's the
Yeah.
problem, man. You know? And then with them dissolving the...
Team Eco?
Well, Team Eco technically exists as another studio because they made that game The Last Labyrinth.
Right.
Right? They are I don't remember what they're called. They have their own name, but they're but that director and most of his staff went and they have their own studio now. But they are not part of Sony Japan because apparently what happened is there's an internal struggle between Sony America, Sony Europe, and Sony Japan, right? Sony America won. Okay, so that's part of the reason why Studio Liverpool got shut down.
I want to
That's
go
part
like
of the reason
America,
why-
fuck yeah, but I'm not
Oh,
happy
yeah.
about that.
But because it's why we got like Days Gone and stuff like
Exactly.
this,
Right.
because
Right.
that's what we want, right? Open
Right.
world, gritty, post-apocalyptic, third-person shooter.
I mean-
yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, right. And
You know.
Saints Row 3 got announced.
Saints Row 3.
2.
I mean,
Saints Row
hopefully,
2, which one is it?
I thought it's like fucking 5 or something.
Or
I don't know. man.
The Saints Row reboot.
A new
That's what it
Saints
is.
Row.
Well, it's a new old. They're like rebooting the entire franchise.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, reimagining the whole
I
thing.
just remember you could go like you know buy a bottle.
up,
of-
Moth and
bottle of
Wolf?
whiskey.
What up?
Hey,
Thanks for deleting that dumb message.
Oh, did we get a dumb message?
We got
that
a-
was
we-
immediately
Probably
deleted?
like, do you want to be famous?
Yeah, it was the. Do
Boom.
you want to be? Do you want to be
million
famous?
followers?
5 views. No, thank you.
Bye, followers.
We'll do it. We'll do it organically. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See?
Heck yeah. Thank
See,
you.
like I said, moderation.
That's right.
Don't do moderation
things
in
in
moderation.
moderation.
Don't do moderation and moderation.
You know, but I mean, okay, so February is gonna be huge, right? Now, King of Fighters 15. Now, that's something that's really gonna
This looks really good.
that's gonna wreck me.
It does.
That's
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
wreck me
man.
because
That looks
like
really fun.
while Guilty Gear Strive is out here and
Yeah.
it's doing very very well,
And it's great.
You know, it's a really cool game.
Absolutely. Jacko just came out.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we got some Jack-O over there doing her. Have you seen that there is now a Jack-O challenge?
Is it just crouched the whole time?
It's
Is
whatever
that what it
you.
is?
It's exactly what you imagine it to be. Are you familiar
Is it
with
the
Jack-O
Buss
as a
It
challenge?
No, not at
all.
It's similar. It's up there.
I knew
It's
it.
up
I
there.
knew it.
Jacko has a crouch where like
dude.
she does kind of like this standing split.
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't bend her knees, but she crouches her upper half, the upper side of her torso, all the way down to the
It's-
ground.
Oh, and it's
And
just-
so, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
oh
ridiculous.
yes, and so
Okay.
that has actually sparked a challenge
Oh, no.
on social media, on TikTok. Like what? So people are taking pictures,
Trying to do the
Jack-O
Jacko
stance.
yeah.
And they're busting their face on the ground, aren't they?
Wow.
Well, they're just doing the best they can.
Yeah,
And-
you
and-
that's not for human
Humans.
physiques.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Absolutely.
there was one.
She said, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah."
there was one. It's just kind of crazy, man. It's just
Was she
like,
a gymnast? Because my God, having the balance
I
to
didn't ask
stand
her.
like that.
I didn't ask her. I just I saw it and I was like, "There's the winner," and kept moving. But it is kind of funny that like due to all of these hardships and hurdles that TikTok is kind of jumping over right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Finding inspiration in a place like Guilty Gear, I never would have seen that coming.
Man,
like
I mean,
what?
I think it's kind of crazy just how mainstream anime and anime acceptance has become.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Nerd culture
Well,
as a whole.
dude,
nerd culture's crazy. Well,
Ever since streaming happened, it was just a lot easier to get a hold of fucking anime, and that's
Yeah.
just that. Like that's the thing. Anytime that it's convenient to like access something,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to gain popularity.
I think it's also a matter of acceptance, you
Oh, it
know,
is, yeah.
because for a long time it's like, oh, even if somebody liked anime, they weren't cool.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
it's-
but
I
when,
think it
when
was
the cool
the
kids
pres-
actually like some anime, then it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, well, I
guess I'll
think it
watch
was
some
that
anime.
stigma that anime had going through like the 90s and early 2000s. Most
Power
of it
level
had-
over
yeah,
9,000.
exactly.
yeah, people really did just think of Dragon Ball Z all the time. That's
Exactly.
really all
Yeah.
it is.
Well,
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
in the 90s, it was just like, oh man, that's just some hyper-violent bullshit, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
yeah,
some
it
of
is.
it-
some
Some
of
of
it,
it.
some of it's
most
very
of it, a lot
thought-provoking.
of it, a
And
lot
then
of the really
and
cool
then there's
shit.
Fruit's Basket.
You know?
Exactly.
Exactly. But I think a lot of it was also that a lot of people don't like to read.
Yeah, that too.
At one point in
Yeah.
time, people didn't like to read. So
Dude,
if
it's
something
hard. It's
wasn't
hard to get
dubbed-
people to watch foreign movies in
It
general,
is.
and I get it. I totally
Yeah.
do. Like, I still have a problem with watching subbed anime sometimes when it's high action shit,
Because it's
I want to
distracting. You have to look
watch
down
the
and up
action.
and down.
I don't
Yeah.
even want to.
That's the way it is for Thunderbolt Fantasy. It can
Yeah,
be
there's
I
so
have
much
to watch
going
it,
on,
I have to watch
huh?
it twice.
Yeah.
You know, one time to just and I do it in
Just
reverse.
absorb it.
Just absorb it. I want to see what's happening. Then the second time to see what the fuck
See
y'all were
what
talking
they're
about
saying.
the whole time.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I think that was kind of a difficult hurdle for a lot of people. But
But
Here we are.
speaking of anime,
Anyway,
yeah,
King of Fighters 15.
Mamoru Oshii
Yeah.
yes,
is no Masami
Masami
Obari.
I was about to say,
Masami
not-
Obari,
not Oshii.
the
Yeah.
guy who directed the Fatal Fury
Fury anime
movies, has
Animated short.
as an animated short in that game, and I like when I was watching the trailer, I was just like, well, this is rad. I'll probably pick this up and jam on it for a little bit, and then I saw that.
Then you
and I
saw
was
Mai
just like,
Shiranui, and she
sold.
looked exactly
Yeah,
the same. And it's like,
absolutely.
bingo.
Dude,
let's
he
go.
loves drawing mine.
Oh yeah,
He loves
who
drawing mine.
wouldn't? Who
Exactly.
wouldn't? You know, and then I mean, it's not even that, right? Like, I mean, well, there's definitely that. You know, that's a shining.
heritage
Oh, that's
there.
that's just
It's-
what sold me.
Well,
on it.
Yeah.
well, no,
Like-
I'm just saying as a package, man. Like,
It
you know,
looks
Guilty
great.
Gear, we have a new character that's cool. This game is going to launch with 39 characters out the gate, right? 3v3 combat.
Yeah, 3v3
You've got-
team combat. That's
That's
Did you
huge,
say
man.
39?
39.
And there's going to be DLC.
And there's going to be DLC.
obviously.
Right,
There's
Yeah.
6 DLC characters already in the works.
And
That'll be within
they
the first
they
couple
like
of months.
releasing them as packs. too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you get a whole team, right? And then they're adding 300 different soundtracks. Different.
Yeah, dude, it's just going to be all the King
all
of Fighters
the King of
stuff.
Fighters music
Oh
is in there,
my
and
God.
you can put it, you can sync it all to
SNK.
whatever stages you want to play your
Doing it
menus.
right.
You can customize the audio completely.
Dude,
Like,
that trailer
y'all
that
doing?
trailer kept
Yeah.
going.
Doing
You
it
know?
right.
It just
That's
kept
what they're
going.
doing.
Right,
They're showing
absolutely.
you all this stuff. They're like, look, you can unlock this and unlock this. And
and
unlock
we have a
this
full
and unlock
story
this.
Yeah,
mode. You
like
know,
some of these trailers is just like I don't really get what like we were talking
What are they
about
trying to
with
get at?
yeah, what are they doing? What is
Yeah.
what is up with this? The SNK was just like Kingdom Fighters 15. This is everything you're getting.
Everything that you
telling
want.
exactly what you're getting.
Absolutely.
SNK is really great about transparency.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
oh yeah. Even when they opted to tell you about draft versus mode, which is really funny to me because it's a conversation that we have like with modern fighters. For some reason, if you're playing online, in a lot of cases, they want you to pre-select your team. Dragon Ball Fighter
Right.
same way. Pre-select your team before you go online, and then you
Before you
go
queue
straight into
up,
the fight, right? So
essentially,
you
yeah.
don't ever actually go to a character select screen,
Which I hate.
which
Yeah.
is a pain. It
I
really
hate
sucks,
it.
especially if you're playing casually.
Yeah.
Especially if you're new to the game
Yeah.
and you don't know who your team is yet.
Right.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
just kind of experimenting. at
Right,
that
and
point,
so you
yeah.
have to sit there and wait before you get into the match, pre-select people, and then they were super stupid about it in Dragon Ball Fighters because all you had is an image of the character, and then you pick your color, which you can't even see how the color works on the character. Then you have to pick your
Disappointed side.
what was the thing? Your assist type,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
and then all this stuff, man. They're like, okay, well, actually, our versus mode gives you character select screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a feature? Like, it's so
Yeah, it
crazy
has to
that
be a
that's a
feature
feature
now,
at this
man.
point.
Yeah,
you know,
for real.
but I'm hyped for that.
Yeah.
I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
okay,
That's cool.
All right, so we can sit here and talk about characters and brainstorm about
Yeah.
characters that we haven't played before, or just hit random select and watch the roulette do the thing
That's
until
right.
it picks somebody that I hate. So I mean, I'm super stoked for that game.
Is
Day
Kay in it?
one
Gonna
is
be
going
good.
down. Say again.
Is K in it?
Okay, yeah, they brought back all
I
the.
thought they
brought
did,
back
yeah.
a
No,
bunch of
verse
people.
from King of Fighters 14. I don't know if you played much of it.
A
The
decent amount,
main
yeah.
antagonist verse
Yeah.
ended up bringing everyone back from the dead. All right, that's why we
Oh,
got
yeah.
Andy Bogard. That's why
Oh,
we
yeah.
got what's her name with the Shermie.
Yeah.
Shermie was
Oh,
dead.
Shermie.
Yeah,
I
right.
forgot
That's why
Shermie's
Shermie's back. And so everyone, dude, K-Dash is on deck, and
Yeah,
so.
boy.
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh,
amazing.
it's gonna be great. It's
gonna be great.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we-
forgot about that whole thing that he brought everybody back. Yeah.
Everyone's back.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so while we're
And it
starting
seems like
at
Ash
39,
is good again.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Uh-huh. He
He is. He is.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. He looks very androgynous these days.
Ash is good again.
They are good. They are very
That's right,
good.
that's right.
You know. And so no, all eyes on King of Fighters 15.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's going to have a lot of growing room as well.
Absolutely.
And also, just speaking of, segueing from fighters, this Marvel Midnight Suns gives me
Yeah.
a lot
What
of
is-
hope.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
So
with
it's
that?
the
It's
team.
For, it's Firaxis.
Firaxis. So it's the
Firaxis.
guys that did the
XCOM.
XCOM.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's actually an XCOM
No, it's
style
an
game
RPG.
yet, but
They're
it
going
still
more
could
for
be.
RPG.
like turn.
So
It's
kinda-
I mean,
so kinda like
Final
a-
Fantasy
what
Tactics
is
is
it?
an
Maybe.
RPG. You
Maybe.
know,
It could be.
X-Men Legends almost,
or
but
like
more
Ultimate
3D,
ultimate
not-
ultimate well, kind of,
Yeah.
because okay, what they're saying is that Marvel Disney
Ultimate
actually
Alliance, that's what I mean to say.
Ultimate Alliance,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of that mixed with XCOM is what it's seeming
Right,
like.
yeah.
But they actually approached Firaxis to make this game. Unprecedented.
Unprecedented,
Unprecedented.
dude.
And
Yeah.
so they were like, hey, we love XCOM, so would you make a game with us using our characters? And of course they're like, well, yeah, but that's a dangerous spot to be in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I mean, it could be like, okay, do we have to sit here and promote nothing but the MCU?
Yeah, or
And this
can
is
we
a
just-
hard no.
Yeah.
This is a hard no, which gives
Absolutely.
me a lot of hope for the future of the Marvel franchise. We might actually see a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with them
That
actually
would be
being
hype.
able to design their own models for these X-Men characters. That might actually happen. Now, the thing about Midnight Suns that sounds really interesting is that they say it's also a heavily relationship-driven game. So
Oh,
you're
what?
supposed to, when you're not on a mission, you have like downtime. You can go like
you
bowling with Cyclops, or
Yeah.
you're
Go
supposed
have
to
a
be able
nice
to-
meal with Wolverine.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need silverware.
right? Schnick.
He likes kebabs.
I'm the best I am.
You can go fly. You can go fly a kite with.
I just imagine-
Ghost Rider.
I mean, it is weird. It's
he
like
burns. He burns the kite.
right.
See, I just
That'd be
imagine Wolvie like having the kebabs over,
the grill. Yeah,
Just grimacing at
absolutely.
people.
And that's why he's got
You
the
want
chef.
surf or turf?
He's got the apron on. I'm the best I am at what I do.
Yeah, that's
All right,
Yeah,
kiss
dude.
the cook.
Kiss the cook. Oh, man.
So that's
Rogue
that's
comes
something-
over, fucks him up, he passes out.
Right. She starts eating off the
sounds
kebab.
great. Yeah, that's right.
But that's the whole thing. They said that they're going for, because you have a your own character named the Hunter.
Yeah, brand new
Who
character.
is a brand new character. Yeah,
I like
is the
this idea.
series. Yeah, so I mean that character represents you, and then you're going to take down Lilith. So
Yeah.
they had to bring her back. So we're gonna have a lot of the dark horses, literally.
It seems like
Moon
it's
Knight
only,
is supposed to be making an appearance.
it's only roughly based on the comic that it's referencing.
Right, because they even
Yeah.
changed it from Sons SONS to Sons SUNS.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
In our current
Yeah.
climate, that's smart.
Because I knew about that arc. I never read it, but I knew about the idea of it. Like, there's I think she's just called like the Goddess or something. Is the main villain?
It's Lilith.
Yeah, but in the story they keep calling her like the Goddess or
Right.
something like that. They have this other thing that they call it. But yeah, it's Lilith,
Yeah.
and all of this is heavily criticizing like Christianity. To be honest, like the original one was,
Right.
and I kind of feel like they're gonna take
They're
a
gonna
step
pull
back
back,
on
yeah,
that.
of course. They're just going for the more hardcore Marvel heroes that are
That's
out
it.
there.
Well, that and
You
they
know?
want like a big baddie. You
You
know what I
know?
mean? They want
Exactly.
something that's intergalactic up here. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Because right now, this is the way that they've put this, and I bet it's in the same way in the games. Everything's going to be like a Thanos level threat now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything's got to be at that level of can
It's
just.
like Mr. Sinister. He's like, actually, he's not really that bad.
Yeah,
but-
for real.
yeah, but we're gonna hype
He's a
him
little
up.
sneaky. I wouldn't
Right.
say sinister.
Yeah, man. It's like, but I'm just happy that they're actually giving license to a different imagery for these characters.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
totally.
like
they
Wolverine
might
does
have
not look like
learned-
Hugh Jackman.
No,
Right.
Ghost
yeah.
Riders look
Dude, Ghost Rider.
mind
good.
blowing.
Didn't I
Well,
see-
I
did
think
I
they
see
learned
Hella
their
over there?
lesson with with the Marvel Avengers and like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
backlash that happened there.
Well, it's the same thing
you
with
know.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, also just having
They were
to
kinda-
stick too
they-
closely to the
yeah,
MCU.
well,
Fans
because-
didn't like it.
Yeah, because they were trying to shoehorn the developers into like keeping a specific like
Aesthetic
brand. Yeah,
to their
and
brand.
that makes
right?
sense. It
You know?
totally does.
No, it's stupid.
understandable.
It's stupid. It's asinine.
But-
Well,
when you,
within
even
the
with
company,
even
I
with
understand.
yeah,
With
well,
us, no, fuck
I
'em.
understand.
Yeah,
it. I understand it completely, but I just feel like they've completely kind of tossed those of us who have supported them for so long to the wayside.
Oh, yeah.
right. Which
Yeah.
is why I'm kind of a little bit unforgiving about it, because it's like the people that have driven you to this point have seen several incarnations of Wolverine over the years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In the comics.
I still like.
So we're okay.
Little badass Wolverine.
Well, absolutely,
That's my
right? Just
favorite.
like
Yeah,
short,
just-
just,
yeah.
hunched
Always
over.
gruff.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't smile at anything.
yeah, dude. And so we're willing to accept something a little bit different. But when you take over that thing completely and say like, well, this is what it looks like now, you're going to alienate a lot of people, right? And especially in the gaming realm, it's like Marvel vs. Capcom was a thing. It's a
Yeah, it was.
phenomenon, and it's a huge reason why a lot of people You know,
there's so much
love-
iconography in that one too.
Yes.
Like it's not just Marvel versus Capcom. There's a legacy there of this Capcom look to Marvel.
Yes.
That went all the way back to, I guess, X-Men versus Street Fighter, but also
Yes.
X-Men Mutant Apocalypse.
Yes.
And it's this look, man. It very heavily was the 90s comic look.
Like the way you can't explain how
It was
Wolverine's claws kind of have their own animation.
They do.
They
move crazy.
But it makes but it makes sense.
When he does this, they flex outward.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what's going on? Man, I just think Ice Beam.
For real.
Ice Beam. You can't even talk about Iceman without me thinking about him just
Ice
beaming up the
Beam.
screen.
But Midnight
Yeah.
Sun looks cool.
It
Midnight
looks really,
Sun?
really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You know,
I'm hoping it's turn-based.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
Right.
hoping it's turn-based. I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's more XCOM than regular RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's with this alien firestorm? You were talking to me
Fire
about
team.
that.
Fire team.
Fire team.
Yeah, so
Firestorm.
This,
Alien
Firestorm. Alien Fire
I
Team.
just gave it a more badass name.
I mean, it is a good one. I like that one.
So I guess this was the Neil Blomkamp movie that never got made.
pretty
nah.
much. Yeah.
Wow.
Aw.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor
'Cause
Blomkamp.
That's what he wanted to do.
He keeps getting IPs ripped away from
Yeah,
him.
he does. Yeah, I did hear that District
Poor
10 is being worked on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But that's all we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
But
all we know.
but no,
See you in 2027.
for real, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So Blomkamp was making this movie that was a direct sequel to Aliens, and it seems like he had this idea that it was going to be all about the Space Marines and everything, the Colonial
Yeah.
Marines, and with then Colonial Marines the game came out, which seems like they were kind of taking that same idea that he was going for,
And it was
except they
bad.
completely screwed it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
This seems like a better attempt at what they were trying to do with Colonial Marines. It plays way more like Gears of War than it does like a regular FPS or whatever.
Yeah.
Very heavy, very big weapons, and not so cover based though, but just
Yeah.
that chunky third person over the shoulder.
Like you're
kind of
walking
thing.
around with a
Right.
fridge.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. And it seems to be a class-based thing. I don't know what all the classes are. The flamethrower looks good,
Which
but
is all that matters.
it's really mostly what matters. Yeah.
As
So,
long as the flamethrower looks good.
dude, I love a good flamethrower.
I mean, absolutely. And
Ooh.
you're seeing a lot of them in new
Yeah.
games. You're going to see them in
Yeah.
the new Call of Duty as well. So
Hell
let's
yeah.
go.
But so the game looks fine. I've read a bunch of reviews about it, and it seems to fall short on story, and it gets a little repetitive. But other than that, everybody's saying like, yeah, this is a fun blast the hell out of some Xenomorphs game.
Right.
And moment to moment, especially if you're playing with a group of people,
Right.
it'd be amazing. And I think if this game launched for Game Pass, then I'd be on it.
Right.
But at a $40 price tag, especially for something that doesn't, from what I'm reading, doesn't have a lot of replay value except for just to go in and blast Xenomorphs.
Right.
Wait for a sale.
Wait for a sale. This
Yeah.
seems like one, if you're an Aliens fan, you want to play this game. But wait for a sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looks interesting though.
Yeah,
So solid,
absolutely.
not complete shit like Colonial Marines. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's all. That's really all I'm saying. I'm hopeful because
Hopefully.
in
Very
recent,
optimistic.
Yeah, in recent years, we've really only had two
I
good
was gonna
Alien
say, we
IPs.
still had Isolation.
We had
so,
Isolation
yeah.
and this, and
Right.
that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's still hope.
There's still hope. There's
Yeah.
still hope. Destiny 2 crossplay. We were just talking about that.
How do we go into Cult of the Lamb?
Yeah. This
Boy.
looks awesome.
You
It's
know?
like
So
cute
new,
Satan.
Well, it's
yeah,
kinda
new,
funny
yeah,
because we
cute
were-
Satan.
We were
Yeah.
talking about it last night. This is from Devolver.
Devolver,
And
yeah.
Devolver is always
Yeah.
coming out of
Yeah.
left field with some weird shit. But we were actually just talking about Behemoth. You know, what happened
Yeah,
with Behemoth.
absolutely.
And a lot of their games have that very similar artistic aesthetic. You know, like those like hyper stylized characters. Are
Almost
really
Flash animation looking.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just really cute characters. But something
But like
is
a
amiss.
sinister, like
Yeah, undertone.
Undertone,
yeah,
yeah.
right. Like this one, apparently, you know, there's a lamb, and the lamb ends up defeating all of these predators that were gonna, or actually, they free all these other animals.
he gets like possessed by like some dark god. In
Oh
this
yeah, they
thing.
put
yeah.
the little thing on his head.
Yeah, that's the
The
deity.
deity.
That's the deity that takes over him and like
Right,
you know,
and but he frees all these woodland creatures,
Right,
so they
and
start worshiping him.
they start
and he's
worshiping
like,
the lamb.
Yeah, worship me.
That's right.
You know, but it's really the dark god,
and
not the
apparently
lamb.
there's
Yeah.
a mechanic where you have to deal with heretics. So like one of your
Yeah.
village people start running around like
Uh-oh.
and you have to like just
Cast judgment.
put him down.
Yeah, you gotta smite him.
You know, and then there's a sacrifice mechanic or something like
So it's a little bit of a god game.
and it
Yeah.
looks like it might be like God game and like semi
Dungeon crawler. Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Is it a roguelike?
It looks very similar in
Very
style.
similar,
In the dungeons, it looks
Yeah.
like it would be roguelike-ish. But we don't have enough information on it right now.
The trailer's really cool.
If you
looks
haven't seen
great.
it, definitely
Yeah.
watch that trailer because it's weird, boy. If
Cult
it doesn't,
of the Lamb.
if it doesn't make you giggle a little bit, then I don't know what will.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that
shit's
episode
great.
of South Park, with the Christmas episode of South Park with all the woodland creatures and then
Hail Satan! Yeah, they were kind of based on the Happy Tree Friends.
yeah, kind of Happy Tree Frenzy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's somewhere in that vein.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not time for the blood orgy.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I love it when Stan realizes what's going on. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God. He's like, oh God. Oh,
Absolutely. So we're just gonna wedge this in here.
Man, I'm gonna put it right in there. Facebook's getting fucking sued. Facebook
yeah,
is
they
getting
can-
sued. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that lawsuit's been going on for a couple
For a
of
while.
years.
Yeah,
now,
but
and they're
it's getting real tight right now though. Like they're getting stuff stacked on them because it's definitely been for a while now that they they've been doing unfair business practices. I mean, really simply. Facebook has been non-competitive in the way that a demon would be non-competitive, where it's like
It just eats
you'll-
the
let me just purchase your company
and then destroy it.
then
Yeah.
put it in a box.
So
Exactly.
basically,
They're
Facebook's
creating
being
monopoly.
and I said this
Yeah.
earlier. Facebook's being taken to task for what we probably should be taking
most
most Fortune 500 companies
Absolutely.
to task
Mhm.
for.
Absolutely.
You know?
And so, but this could mean weird things for the Oculus group as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, true.
You know, and so
that's
I mean,
that's
because,
the whole reason I think
because
it's
what's happening
it's
is
news,
they're being forced to break up.
That makes me wonder if they're going to remove the necessity for a Facebook account with Oculus. They might have
they
to.
should.
Yes,
Really
they should.
should,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
Yes.
just to get themselves out of this spotlight, because that's the biggest thing they need to do is get out from under all of this scrutiny.
Yeah.
Because at this rate, their company is going to have to break up into so many different subsections that they're going to lose money. But at the end of the day, they'll probably still just be in competition with themselves.
True.
I mean, just being honest.
Who else
about
do
the
they have?
situation.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
They've hamstrung everybody for so long that nobody can keep up.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Any company that had anything adjacent to what Facebook was doing, whether it's technology wise or whether it's social media wise or whether like any of it,
Yeah.
they've purchased or they've buried.
Either
They've
integrated or
yeah.
annihilated.
MySpace. What's that?
You know?
Yeah, man.
Right. Well, I mean the same thing with Instagram.
Yeah.
you
But
know,
but
so.
this
all they got is Twitter. You guys Twitter. Is
yeah, man. But like you were saying, that's probably something we're gonna have to look at other big companies after
This
this.
could depending on how this comes
Disney
down.
problem. This could be a,
depending on
you
how
know?
the verdict comes down. This could potentially set a precedent if precedent has not already been set.
It's kind of like
in
the
the past.
Epic Games situation, right?
Right.
As soon as that started bubbling up, they're like, well, can you even sell exclusives on a console? Whoa. Okay,
Right.
this has gotten a lot bigger now.
Well, that's
Whoa,
the
hold
thing.
on.
It's like and some of these things are you would never be made aware of these potential pitfalls until the pits are dug.
Yep,
Right.
that's
you know,
it.
Like you would never know. Like we were having a conversation the other day about this cop, and she got suspended for making TikTok videos while she was in her car. And it wasn't like she was making anything like scandalous or whatever. She's just making videos. She's
Little
dancing
dances and
yeah, she's
Yeah.
trying to be like, hey, all cops aren't out choking out black people.
Oh,
Like she's just
Yeah.
doing the thing. And they're like, that's not the image. Get the fuck out.
This is
No.
positive PR.
Right,
Yeah, for
right,
real.
but that's the way that I view it, But on the other hand of it, there's
No,
SOP
put Punisher skulls on
and-
the car.
right, and so, but we're having a conversation. It's like a lot of these things, none of these guidelines are in contracts because no one's
Right.
thinking about these possibilities until they exist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the same thing with Facebook. They just think about Zuck. He was just smart enough to be like, okay, well, we need to move before the law catches up with us.
Yeah, Zuck's AI is ahead of that.
Absolutely.
He's,
And so that's the thing. It's like now, sure,
Yeah.
y'all, we can break the company up. We're swimming in money. It's
Yeah.
great. This is fine. But it is interesting. Oh, right. Bitch. But it is funny to think about that. It's like we can have these conversations in a room like this, but a lot of people aren't
Scrooge
really.
McZuck.
Oh.
God, that's so good and so obvious.
Scrooge
Why is that not a
McZuck.
thing?
Wow.
You heard it
Oh,
here
God.
first.
Jesus, man.
That's golden.
That just
Jesus.
rolls right off the tongue.
I'm telling you,
Scrooge
Scrooge
McDuck.
McDuck. Stop
Oh,
it.
shit.
I know he's got a money bin. He's probably got a Scrooge McDuck like oil painting
Yeah.
of himself. You know what I'm saying? It probably says it. He's probably mad as hell.
He's got
If he
the
ever
top-
sees this footage, he's gonna be like,
I adopted 3 kids just to name them Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Got this top hat and this cane.
That's right. I play golf with it too.
That's right.
Yeah,
Shoot, I'll
man.
bounce on
You
it.
know? Oh God. Anyway, all right. So Spider-Man, No Way Home trailer dropped.
Yeah, and it looks
Jesus.
really fucking good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will say that before this,
yeah.
and from the timeline of Endgame to this, I haven't been truly hyped for a Marvel movie. Like, I've watched them, or any really Marvel property.
Yeah.
I've watched them because, whatever, at the very least, they're going to be okay.
Right.
Most of the time. Unless they're Black Widow.
Black Widow was not okay. There's nothing okay.
But seeing this and all the cool stuff that they're doing, like with that Strange specifically is doing, like
Oh, yeah.
visually is going to be impressive. Plus, the really cool thing, which I guess spoilers for a trailer.
Aunt May is hot.
Yeah, that Aunt May's hot.
That's always been that way.
But no, they're
All 3 movies.
They're doing a multiverse thing, obviously, and they're bringing in Alfred Molina as Doc Ock.
Yes.
Otto
Poten-
Octavius.
Potentially, we're gonna see Willem Dafoe's Goblin.
He said, "We'll see." That's what he said in an interview.
We'll
They're
see.
like, what's
Yeah.
up with that? We'll see.
So, yeah. And potentially, what is it? Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man.
That's right.
Potentially.
We might see
don't know.
Sandman. We could see Jamie Foxx as Electro. We
Right.
could see who the hell was Lizard?
There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
Just from looking at this trailer, there's a lot of opportunity
mean,
for this movie to be just absolutely buck wild.
They
I'm
could
loving that more people are focusing on these kind of the theory of multiverse.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Especially after like Enter the Spider-Verse, you know, like
It makes
Which
everything a little
was
bit easier to deal with.
amazing.
You know,
So
You-
good.
they don't have
So
to worry so much about strict canon once they start messing with multiverse. Because
Exactly.
then they can go, well, no, that was over here.
You can
They
get back to
just-
having
yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, the what ifs are a good example of that. So far, they're good.
Right?
Yeah.
I watched the other one, the T'Challa Star-Lord.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. My
It's-
Disney Plus stopped working, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, for real. So I have to figure that part out.
Error.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but Far From Home or No Way Home. Sorry.
No Way Home.
No Way Home looks great. Looks like they're making Sinister Six happen.
Yes.
You know, we
Which
got.
Sony's been wanting to do forever.
Yep. So bring it on. Bring
Hell
it on,
yeah.
man. I'm ready for this one. And
Absolutely.
from the word, we might be getting Matt Murdock as his lawyer in this one.
Let's go.
Because he's obviously in some legal shit.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And what's her name's also a lawyer. Shit, I can't think of her real name. But She-Hulk. She-Hulk's also a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some kick-ass lawyers in the
Dude,
MCU,
dude, they are
Some
gonna eventually
backbreakers.
do a She-Hulk. I think it's a series, and if that motherfucker
I
isn't
thought they
just
announced that a while ago.
that
didn't
a
they?
while back, and they're still working on it.
Okay.
I think. But
Who
if
is
that's not
She-Hulk,
just
though?
Law and Order
I'm
with
not sure.
She-Hulk,
Oh my God.
they're missing a.
Dude.
I mean,
I want
for
She-Hulk
real.
to get her own like Ace Attorney game.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah. Objection.
punches the defendant. Objection.
That'd be good.
I always
I
wanted
love
it to be Serena Williams playing She-Hulk.
Oh man,
Dude.
she'd be an amazing She-Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously. Yeah.
Can she act? I wonder if she can.
I don't know if she can act. I really don't know. That'd be the breaker right there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or would you have to have an actress as like She-Hulk untransformed?
I don't think she changed
She
back and
never-
forth.
right,
She
she's
just
always
was
green.
because she was sentient.
Eventually-
Like,
Yeah.
she didn't have the
Eventually,
rage.
she got to the point
Where
where
she
she was
Super
sent.
Hulk out?
Yeah, because originally she would just
Really?
yeah,
Because
Hulk
I
out.
remember her being like
and then
there
transform
the whole time.
back.
Right.
But that was later in the comics.
Well, it's kind of like they did
okay,
the same thing
okay.
with the Green Hulk. Well, really the
'Cause he
Gray
was the
Hulk
Gray
as
Hulk.
well.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
would wear a
as
suit and
as
tie
it
and
went
shit.
on, like then she was just like, well, I can consciously transform.
Yeah.
Which took the whole you know, ooh, She-Hulk got PMS. She's gonna Hulk out,
man.
like
Oh my God.
thing out of it, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And so she could constantly transform back and forth. And eventually, she was just like, "Well, I'm just gonna be a fucking green Amazon
be a
all the
boss
time," you
all
know,
the
like
time.
why
Great.
not? Yeah, whatever. This feels great. And
Everybody
that's-
moves out of my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And that's when they started doing all those like fourth wall breaks in the
Yeah.
comic books as well, like where she would just like tear through panels
And talk
to
stuff,
you.
and
Yeah.
talk to you
she
directly.
did do that a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
The writer really
Interested-
screwed me right here.
interested to see how that would work out. Yeah,
Oh man, Shredder's Revenge.
that looks so good.
Shredder's Revenge
does.
is the Ninja Turtles game that we've been waiting on since Turtles in
So-
Time.
Yes,
man,
and
Since,
it's
so
actually made it by
long.
the same team who made the Streets of Rage.
Yeah, which that game was.
Man, I gotta get Streets of
fire.
Rage 4.
Oh,
I
you haven't
gotta
played
get
Streets
it.
of Rage?
I've
Oh,
played it, but
dude.
I don't
Dude,
have it.
I will
I don't
play
have
through it with you.
'Cause
I'll play through it
Absolutely.
again.
I
It is
had
so
it.
good.
I had it when we were sharing.
Right.
Right, and so I played it a little bit, but now they've released the Mr. X stuff.
Yes.
They've released there's like 2, 3, 4 more characters.
I think they added like 4 or 5 more.
There's a lot more.
There's
characters.
a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
A
I'm
lot.
just gonna buy that game. It
Yeah, it's so worth
I
it.
know it's amazing.
It's so fun.
Super
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Beat 'em ups. Bring beat 'em ups back, man.
Well, they're
I
already
want-
coming.
I want me a Strive beat 'em up. I'm gonna say this every time. I want Strive that has a mode like Guilty Gear Asuka's.
That would be really, really cool.
Like, yeah, dude, it'd
Yeah,
be,
boy.
it'd
That
be
would
great.
be really cool. I do think we're seeing a resurgence in the interest in beat 'em ups with what's the name of the Sifu.
Sifu,
With
yeah,
Sifu
that one
coming
looks
up,
good.
you know,
Yeah,
because that looks to take that entire format and kind of put it into a more modern atmosphere.
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot of depth to the game,
Mm-hmm.
but there does look like there's a lot of depth to combat. But it's still going to be go over here,
That's-
kick some ass, then go over there and kick some more ass.
well, that's similar to this next one, Severed
Well,
Steel.
well, before we move
Yeah.
on, like there's
Oh.
a trailer up. Miss O'Neill.
Miss O'Neill.
Oh, dude.
Is laying the
O'Neill.
smackdown in this game
With
the
On
Street Fighter
foot-
moves.
on
She's got
the
Chun-Li
Foot
kicks.
Clan.
And-
Yeah,
and
dude.
she's got the-
she's
the
got
Kieran,
so
uh-huh.
many kicks.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
Man.
she's
And
straight.
then
She's
there's a-
Capcom'd out.
Yeah,
and
she
then
is,
there's
yeah.
a like space
They
for
didn't even hide
another fighter.
We're probably going to see
potentially.
Splinter or Casey
Splinter
Jones.
or Casey Jones.
It's got to be one of the two of them,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
down. I mean, look, Casey Jones would be the obvious choice,
Mm-hmm.
but I really hope it's Splinter.
I hope it's Splinter.
yeah.
Yeah, we need Splinter.
We've
But
never
that's-
gotten to
but
see
I think
Splinter really wall out.
like
you know?
looking at everything they've done with the Streets of Rage 4, there will probably be everyone that we've ever wanted.
Absolutely.
Because this is that opportunity.
What's
Here
What's
it
the
is.
rabbit
Is that
samurai?
the samurai? What's
Oh,
that guy's name?
Usagi Yojimbo.
Usagi
I want
Yojimbo.
Yojimbo on there.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
let's go.
Yeah, boy.
You know, and
Yeah.
so I mean, I think that they could. Now's the opportunity to give us what we've always wanted because this is aimed dead at us.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, dead
100.
at us.
It
the
looks
ones that were at
just
Chuck E.
like the damn
Cheese.
cartoon.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And-
Has a
and
very
the-
Scott
and the-
Pilgrim look.
Exactly.
To it. It's got a, like,
exactly. And exactly. And
The
so-
old 90s.
90s,
Yeah,
the arcade games and everything. The ones of
Arcade,
us
yeah.
who sat there in Chuck E. Cheese Pizza,
playing that 4-player.
ramming quarters
That's right.
into that
That's right.
thing.
Uh-huh.
They're like, okay, here you go. And you get April. And so I think April's a teaser, man. I
They
think
sh-
April, that's a taste of things to come.
They should
That's
just
right.
slap everybody they can in there.
Hell
Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good.
Yeah. It's really, really
Miss
good.
O'Neill.
You know, I wonder if they'll end up doing like because with Streets of Rage 4, they actually gave you different sprite swaps,
Oh.
so you could play with sprites from Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it had their entire move sets, all of the OP benefits, all the handicaps of that specific.
Thinking maybe they'll give you different sprites for
That'd be
different,
cool, right?
different-
Wouldn't
Yeah,
it be cool if
absolutely.
they actually gave us the original Noir
Yeah.
TMNT to play with?
Yeah,
Like, that'd be
different-
so
They look
awesome.
a little bit more hand drawn. They look a
Right.
little bit more.
They could do the
oh.
first NES cover. All of them have red masks.
Yeah,
like,
man. You know, so I mean, if they're probably going to get really creative with this, and so I'm really looking forward to it.
Heck yeah.
I gotta read that run, man. I gotta read that comic run.
Oh, it was dark.
I
I've
have-
got to.
it was
I've
dark,
never. I've
boy.
never.
I have
even-
the first half.
Really,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta check it.
It
out.
wasn't what the kids liked.
No, they all grimacing all the time.
It
There's
wasn't
some
pizza
angry
time
turtles,
all the time.
Yeah, right. Michelangelo was not yet a party dude.
No, he's not.
Raph, they got.
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
pretty much the same.
But they were all like Raph.
They were
Yeah,
just
they were
all
all
Raph, yo. Man, yeah, they were just murderers in the comic,
Yeah,
right? They were
man.
the actual ninja.
It's rough in the sewers, bro.
It's-
It's rough down there. Jesus. And so we'll see. You know, I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, the only other one, this Severed Steel game.
Severed Steel,
Yeah,
what's
do you
up with
remember that? It just it looks like it kind of reminds me of what's the name of that game? Fear, with some of the way that like the sliding and maneuverability and the way that people react and stuff. It's got a little bit of a bullet timiness to it, but it's
Okay.
also like
Also a little bit of parkour.
it's a little
and-
parkour, so it's
yeah.
kind of Mirror's Edge.
Right.
but
Hardcore
it's
parkour?
Hardcore parkour. Yeah, that's
Hardcore
right.
parkour.
It's,
Yes.
it's just like a run and gun shooter kind of thing.
Cool.
It doesn't look like
Is this VR or is this
No,
flat?
no,
No,
it's flat.
it looks like it could be a great VR
Oh, yeah,
experience.
yeah,
It does look like it could, but it's flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's flat.
Looks good.
But looks really cool, fast paced, Severed Steel.
I think I remember
Check
seeing
it out.
this trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it except that it looks
you know
tight
what?
as hell.
Okay, so all of this to say, the true winner of Gamescom, because so much was announced that we haven't even gotten close to.
Yeah.
That Dokkan V.
Oh yeah, I
that
forgot
looks-
about that.
That looks
That
absolutely
looks-
incredible.
That looks wonderful.
Yes.
Is that an
That
exclusive?
feels like my heart.
It is an exclusive.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so,
Which means I won't get to play it.
well, you'll get to play it.
it's on PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on PS4?
Yeah, it'll be PS4, PS5.
Let's go.
Well, I mean, it should be PS5 exclusive, honestly, at this point. But whatever.
Hey man, let
but
me
it does-
let me
it
get,
does-
let me get one.
Well, it's not that. It's not that.
Everybody
It's just
gets one.
that if
Everybody gets one.
once we get to that point, then we'll
Yeah,
really
eventually
see
it's going to
that
happen.
next level.
Oh,
just-
boy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. But you know, it just looks highly imaginative, right? Like just
Oh,
so
yeah.
imaginative. Everything about that game. It's like it starts off and it looks so Sesame Street. It's like, oh, here we go with another Connectimals or whatever. And then everything goes fantastic.
And then you have
And then it
yeah.
just keeps ramping up and ramping up to the point that it's like,
Uh-huh.
what? And then there are giant boss fights on the playground,
Yep.
and it's like,
Yep.
what is
and you
this
got
exactly?
Pulled I guess.
You know, right?
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. You're
yeah,
going
yeah,
down
that's-
pull out a
these little
big
monsters.
giant hammer and just
Yeah, so he's got Pokemon aspects. You know what the
Yeah.
developer said.
got a
was
hack
they,
and slash mechanic
like,
almost.
they said they
Yeah.
wanted a game that they could play with their kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that would still offer a lot of depth. And I'm like,
Cool.
It's like
Yes,
like it's
please,
got
you
a
know?
little bit of Jet Set Radio kind of in it too.
Yeah.
yeah, it's got kind of that
which,
feel.
which, by the way, we didn't mention that last week because we got cut out. What's the name of the bomb?
Something super
Cyberpunk?
bomb run, cyber.
So Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
That looks
Good
so
job.
Good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's Jet Set Radio.
Jet-
Jet
Jet
Grind
Set
Radio.
It is,
whatever you
absolutely.
wanna say.
Totally.
Yeah.
Somebody got sick of
There not being a new one.
They're not
Right.
either not being a new one or re-releasing the original.
I think they did the same thing with Crazy Taxi. I
Yeah,
think
they did.
somebody made their own. Yeah, it's
Yep.
like
do it.
They do the same thing. Do the same thing with Burnout. You know, is people
it's
just
called
trying to
Insane
keep these things
Uber.
Right. Well, yeah. They call it dangerous driving. But anyway, all that just to say, I think the true winner of Gamescom, which definitely go and watch some Gamescom because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
was revealed.
There was a bunch.
The
There was a
true
lot.
winner is Unreal Engine 5.
Well, yeah.
You know, like.
What is happening?
Well,
What is
that's
happening?
the thing, man. That's why Severed Steel looks so amazing. It's like, okay, well, just so you know, Unreal Engine 5 is a real thing, and it apparently will just make your games excellent by default. It's just like, okay, all the tools are there. Just put the skin on it, make it look how you want it to look, and it's gonna run beautifully.
So can I nerd out about Unreal Engine 5 for a second?
Please do.
Okay, so
Please do.
So I've been watching a lot about developer side of things on Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
First off, the man, I can't remember the name of the company. Epic ended up buying a company that does mega scans. Quixel.
Right.
Quixel is I believe what it's called. So they have all these real world environments that have been scanned in, and I'm saying that libraries and libraries
Yes.
of everything you can think of that's free with Unreal Engine right now.
Right.
If you have a developer account, you get the Quixel account, you get mega scans for free.
Yep.
They've now developed in engine their own there was this program everybody used called Substance Painter. Substance Painter is really cool because you can do layers of different materials and you can blend materials, and that's all in Unreal Engine now.
Yep.
They have pretty much a tool to do anything you want. I mean, other than
That's what that guy did
sculpting.
with the Simpsons Hit and Run. You know, like he was
Exactly.
just
And
like,
it looks-
I
it looks
wanted to
perfect.
rebuild Springfield.
Yeah.
But then I found out that I had access to all of these different pre-existing towns that I could just import in, and then put a cell shading overlay on top of, and now
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Like
It's insane.
what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
like-
you can just slap stuff
Oh my
together
God.
real quick. I was watching there's a weird thing with like the way engines work, and it's a thing called draw calls. So if you have an object, it's easier to make a copy of an object than it is to make a new object, right? Because it doesn't have to go find another object. It's like, oh, this also goes here. This also goes here. And that's always been really useful for doing like
trees,
trees, or like environments where it's a surrealist thing and there's a whole bunch of cubes everywhere, right? Well, it's all just a cube that they've instanced in a whole bunch of places.
Right.
Now they can do draw calls on like entire sections of environments the same way.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's like, here's a mountain range, but you can copy it 40 times.
The whole mountain?
The whole thing. Every one of them. Yeah.
That's dumb.
And yeah, man.
That engine is something else, man.
It's something
man.
else.
Hell yeah.
It's something else, and it's doing this thing where like, so you know the tessellation thing, where the closer you get to something, the more polygons it has. That's the way we've been dealing with stuff for a long time. But we've always had this pop-in thing. You get to like here, and then well, that looks like shit. Okay.
Right.
Oh, but here looks good, but shit. Right.
Right.
This is specifically doing something where they're trying to draw a polygon per pixel. Right? That's the standard. A polygon per pixel. So it doesn't matter what distance you are away from something, it looks the same level of quality.
Wow.
But it's also a consistent performance level. So that means that you don't have to worry about an optimization thing for real. It's constantly doing its own optimization. Right?
I'm telling you, man.
They've made it to where there's global illumination that works the way ray tracing does without using ray tracing.
So I mean, you're not eating up all of your resources.
Yeah, Lumen
Ray
does
tracing.
bounce lighting and does GI,
God.
like and like all this stuff. Dude, this is it's free. It's all free shit, dude. You can go right now and sign up for Unreal Engine 5 and just play with this stuff, and it all works on last gen hardware.
Right.
They've already proven it. It works on PS4. It works on the fucking Switch.
Right.
I can't.
Toot.
They're literally making magic here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Absolutely.
It's you know,
I mean, it's mind numbing.
Yeah.
Just to think about.
I mean, Unreal is potentially the most like just across the board ubiquitous engine being used in
and has been
right
since
and has been for a while.
Yeah, but the pushes, the developments that they made with Unreal Engine 5, I can't. And this is the reason why I say I can't wait for the PS5 exclusive games. You know,
well,
because
Wukong looks amazing.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know
right?
that I like the game though.
I do.
I think the game looks a little.
Did you watch
jank.
that long trailer that came out last week?
That looks way better. That looks way better than the first one.
And
so.
the way that weapons will interact with the snow on the ground, just dragging through it.
That was
sitting
stupid.
there,
that was
right.
just stupid,
You know,
man.
he sat there and sent like an energy wave at you,
and
it cut a path through the snow. Like I'm sitting here like, whoa! Like melted the snow in that path, and you can tell exactly where their attack lines have been just by looking at the snow. It's like.
Yeah, dude.
How are you pulling this off?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but that does give you a glimpse at what we're gonna see once we stop worrying about previous generation. Once we stop thinking about that and look forward, then something like Wukong is gonna be commonplace, man.
And to think also that Unreal Engine was developed from the beginning with VR in mind as well.
Oh, yes, sir.
And then with this whole, we're trying to make AAA experiences that you can play flat and in VR.
Right.
We're going to have actually realistic looking worlds that we can interact with good frame rates in VR now.
Absolutely.
It's a whole nenext level. I mean,
I can't wait.
We're getting to that point with this optimization where it's almost not even plug and play is what I'm trying to say. It's one of those like, okay, what do I want to build? I want to do this and this and this. Oh, and it works. Cool.
Right. It's just gonna work.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this asset. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make me a character. I'm going to pop it all in and tell it what to do. And there you go. And I'm not saying it's easy. This is a complicated system.
Absolutely.
But also, if you go on the thing, they have like 70 hours of
tutorials and videos,
made by Epic to explain their own systems. So it's not like going on Skillshare or something, and sometimes you find good ones, sometimes you don't, because I think that's super hit or miss with those stuff, right? This is from the developers telling you how to use the engine for free without even signing up like for any special thing, dude. This is all free stuff. Oh my God, Unreal Engine 5. So sorry to nerd out so much, but
you guys can have that. We're gonna be over here focusing on Tesla Bot.
Tesla Bot.
Tesla Bot.
Tesla Bot started.
You never. And Bangarang started playing. Bangarang.
Like what are you doing?
Oh God, it's so funny. He's like, okay, that's enough.
I'm surprised he didn't just play some Grimes music.
Right? Oh, that's funny.
Because you can't dance to that. That's why.
Well,
anyway,
I like Kill V Mame. I like some Art Angels.
I think that's enough for news.
That's enough news. You done with that?
That's
We're
enough
gonna wrap it up
news.
with Tesla
Scott
bot.
said, "Stop it." Well, let's talk about topics. We're talking about Immortals.
From 2011, directed by
Tarsim Singh. I can't remember his last name. Tarsim.
Starring Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
a pre-Superman.
Cavill.
Cavill.
Yeah.
Cut all hell in back.
Mickey Rourke, John Hurt, Stephen Duff,
Stephen Dorff, who's
Stephen
also
Dorff.
cut to all hell in back.
Yeah,
Stephen
right.
Dorff,
Dorff.
Frida Pinto,
Yeah.
Luke Evans, and then some other motherfuckers.
And the priest that looks like one of the engineers from Prometheus.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
absolutely.
totally looks like an engineer.
He's like, I'm gonna kill myself. He's like, you're not gonna do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn
So
it, I'm
you've
not gonna do
been
that.
telling me about this movie forever.
Yeah.
And I just watched it
Yeah.
last night.
So this is your first time seeing it?
This is my first time seeing
Dude,
it.
I forgot that I'd seen that movie
That's so
until
funny. It's so funny.
until I started it this morning, and you see the first shot with the cube,
And they're
they're all in there. Yeah, I was just like,
They're
oh
all
God,
buck
I saw
nasty.
I saw nasty on it, No, I saw
love
that
that
movie
movie.
in theaters like opening night.
Yeah.
And
I actually did, too.
I was super excited about it because at that time period, you had all those movies like Troy, Gladiator, Immortals hit
300. I think it
300.
pretty much this kind of got overshadowed by 300.
Well,
to
yeah.
some degree.
Well,
yeah.
but it was really more of a trend of the time.
was.
There were a lot of
Right,
those like
yeah.
Roman Greek. Now, I mean, but even though that intro does kind of piss me off, because when they first pan down to outside of the cube, you see 4 Titans looking straight out, and then the next scene, they're all alternating the directions they're facing.
We were talking about this. There's some weird editing shit in this
Yeah.
movie. They do that
I
a
was just
lot,
like,
where it
that's
almost
kind of-
seems inconsistent from scene to
Right.
scene.
Yeah.
I saw a point where Hyperion. At the end, when he's
Spoilers.
getting well when
I
he's
mean,
Whatever.
it's 2011.
Yeah.
Hey man,
bro.
some people
It's a
give a
10-year-old
shit.
movie.
It's 10 years old.
I don't care.
but Hyperion's
This is
getting
for
hit in
the
the
audience,
face.
for the fans, man. Helping people out.
Well, spoilers. But he's got this big spot of blood all over his face, and he's talking to him. He's like, blah, blah, blah. And then it pans away,
Which
and
is
it's
literally
just
how he
something-
speaks.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
is.
that's how Mickey Rourke speaks.
And then it shows him again, no blood at all. And then it
Yeah.
goes away, and it comes back, blood all
Blood
over his
everywhere.
face. I'm
He's
like,
like,
yeah.
what's going on here?
but whatever.
Little
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get too far,
How'd you feel about it? Did you like it? Ooh.
yes, I think.
Yes, I think. Yes, I think.
Yes.
All right. What was your
It
take?
is. It is
Oh, I
worth.
know
It is
what he's gonna
absolutely
say.
worth the watch. Phil,
Uh-oh.
what had happened?
Oh man. Pre-God Superman talks to
Just more words.
talks-
Just throw them all
talks
out.
to old man about mission to find Bo and fights monster hands. That's what.
Those monster hands were a thing. And the
Good.
simple
What's
fact,
up with
towards
those
the end, when he's
hands?
over there just cracking walnuts.
Cracking
Oh,
walnuts
yeah,
just
with his
cracking them,
hands.
cracking them with his hands, and then he goes to Theon because we got Theon Greyjoy
Yeah,
early
boy.
up in that motherfucker, and he just gives him a walnut. You know what I'm saying? Just so when you think about this walnut that you're so happy about because you're not dead.
Yeah.
I
And
got
you're
a
like,
walnut.
oh,
That man
I've got to
just
open
crushed
it.
those walnuts
Now I've gotta
with
get-
his bare
Right.
hands.
How am I going to get this walnut open? So the whole time you're trying to hit that walnut with a rock or whatever you're using, trying to crack it open, you're thinking about how much more immensely powerful this motherfucker is that just gave you this walnut. It's just like he was just cracking them and eating them.
It's because of those Ninja Turtle fingers. That's
right.
why.
That'll do it. That'll do
Like
it.
really, guys,
Absolutely.
just look up Mickey Rourke's hands. Just type
Yeah.
it into Google. Just type Mickey Rourke's hands.
I
into
like
Google.
Them
What's up?
mitts, boy.
With the mitts.
I like the way they portrayed the Minotaur.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
Minotaur's
that was
cool.
good.
The
Minotaur's
barbed
really good.
wire
Yeah.
helmet and
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
And then
For
they have like the worst torture
Torture,
device in
yeah,
the world.
the bull.
Herodotus's brazen bull. That's what
Yeah.
that shit's called. It's a big fucking brass bull
Yep.
that they put over a fire and put people in
And
to
cook-
cook them.
cook
And then they have
people.
this horn structure on the mouth so that when they scream,
Scream.
it sounds like a bull.
Yeah.
This is a real thing.
yeah,
this isn't This is a real
existed.
thing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
was not made up for the movie. This is a historical like.
And this was like pre-Inquisition shit
Yeah.
too.
Right.
Like they'd been torturing folks crazy forever.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely. The funniest thing is like they show you that bull like at the very beginning.
You're like, huh, a
as
bull.
If,
Cool.
As if, well, I never thought that.
No.
I was just like, Yeah,
Yeah,
you hear
absolutely.
screams at the same time as you
Something's
hear the
up with
bull's
this bull.
noise.
Well, because
and then
I
the
knew
smoke
about
coming out of
the
his
bull,
nose.
You know?
Right.
I had already heard about
And it
that
was
from,
standing
like,
over a
yeah.
fire.
Right,
And it's
Right.
just
right,
like,
and it's just like
There's people
It wasn't
in
until
that
the
bowl.
exactly, and it wasn't until the oracles were in there that it was just like,
That-
oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
And I guess that for a lot of the audience, that's when it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
For me, I was just like, Like the
you
second I
knew-
saw it,
you
I'm like,
knew- Bouncing off of that, I do feel like Mickey Rourke is the standout for this movie.
As far as
Definitely.
acting,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with
I
Henry
don't have
Cavill.
a problem with
I think he's good.
anybody here,
Yeah.
but Mickey Rourke
John Hurt's
just
awesome. Come on.
immediately. Well, John Hurt's
He
always
just has to
fine.
show up. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Hi, I'm John Hurt.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
was,
think
that was
I mean,
actually one of his lines.
I think that Cavill was good and bad. I think that Cavill.
But no, I'm saying,
was
like-
okay.
Naive feeling.
Well,
Is that like a young actor feeling? Did you have that?
There,
kind
there,
of?
there was a lot of that. I felt like he was best when he was really just in combat.
Yeah,
you know?
well, those combat scenes look amazing.
Dude,
But
they're so
no,
good. They're so
But no,
good. Yeah.
Mickey Rourke specifically, what is his name? King Herodotus. That's who he's
No,
playing,
no,
right?
Hyperion.
No, Hyperion.
Hyperion.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, he is exactly the kind of villain that I like to see in a
great.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, literally a bastard with no redeemable qualities that it's just, you just love to hate.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like,
He makes
like
it
a,
easy.
He's
like
so
a
calm.
Kurt
He's so
man.
calm, dude.
So calm.
He's not
Yeah.
worried.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
nah, yeah, he knows
Man, when he starts
exactly what he's
pouring that oil all over the
Let me
Uh-huh.
enlighten you.
Yeah, let me enlighten.
that guy that's in all the Darren Aronofsky movies.
Yeah.
Remember, he was the guy that they kept that Jared Leto kept selling the TV back to.
Oh, yeah.
And then his mom would come buy the TV back.
Yeah, dude. Like he was a phenomenal villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's Mickey fucking Rourke.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man.
He,
Woo.
yeah, he shows up to play. He's terrifying.
Mhm.
He's just
Yeah,
a scary
absolutely.
dude. Just legitimately.
I love
scary
it.
dude.
I love that scene, like with the priest, for instance. You know, so
Eating
that-
the pomegranate.
eating the pomegranates, dude.
Yeah, he
I
just
love it. They kept doing
crushing them.
They keep doing those little things, which is why I think I love this movie so much as like a Greek myth movie.
Yes.
They do it so right with the little nudges here and there. Yes, he's eating pomegranates. They don't make a big deal about it.
Yeah,
but
it's
when you
just
look at it,
something-
you're
Well,
like,
because it's something that you could easily overlook or not know what
Not
they
even
were.
know. Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you weren't
Absolutely.
familiar with pomegranates,
But
you'd be
if
like,
you
oh, he's just sitting there
do-
eating something, whatever.
That's
But
right.
if you do, then it's like,
It's a nice little
right. It's just like, oh man,
and
wow.
then that makes
eating
you feel
the
clever.
fruit of the underworld.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Dude.
And
Yeah.
so, but I
And
mean,
then
there is a
it-
lot of symbolism.
Well, because he's Theseus.
all throughout, right?
So they
Yeah.
kind of tell the
Theseus
the
and
labyrinth and the bull.
right?
Yeah.
But this is a very different thing from
Very
the actual
different take.
story.
It's a very
And that's
different
fine.
take on a lot of the
Yeah.
gods,
Yeah.
man. Like you really don't get to see.
You mean those
a lot of
GQ
the-
models that
Right.
are all up there?
And I don't
That-
know
man,
where they got their headgear from. I don't know where they got like
Dude,
Hermes.
I don't know.
I'm like,
I don't know
dude,
about you,
what's
but
up
I
with
want
those-
Aries.
For
little,
real.
little helmet mohawk
Dude,
thing.
the shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
That
But
was
it was
wild.
unfortunate that you really only got to see like Hermes use his powers and Poseidon.
I loved it when
yeah.
Poseidon,
Now,
was,
Poseidon
like,
was
well,
like-
you know, the water has always been a fickle.
Fickle mistress.
Fickle mistress. It just dives in
dives in, yeah.
boom, makes
He's
a
like, no.
sonic boom and all the waves.
And it's like, okay, well, everybody just stand fast.
Yeah.
All right. If you panic,
Yeah.
you're gonna fuck it up and die.
That's
right.
You know. So
And
everybody
then they just-
stand right here.
Yep.
And then they're just all oily, because what? Like the sea itself was just
That's-
full of fucking oil.
That's seriously
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's-
I knew. I figured
Uh-huh.
it was something.
I don't
but
know exactly.
No, I don't think
I
it's
just
oil.
think
I
it's
think it's a
great
whole
to
bunch
just-
of dirt and just mud.
I just think
and
it's great that next scene afterwards is just them just sitting there, just fucking
coated in black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just drinking. Yeah,
Well, she's over there taking a
Taking a
shower,
shower,
and they're
of
trying not
course.
to look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
For
Yeah.
real. Yeah, she
So
gave that up real
eventually-
quick.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no,
Real quick.
That's what he said to me. He was like, "Man, I don't understand why they boned. Like that doesn't make any sense." And I was like, "Oh, she didn't want to be the oracle."
Yeah, she
Yeah,
never wanted to be
yeah.
an oracle.
I mean,
and
I
now
was
she
like,
has
oh,
all of her
that makes
sisters.
sense.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess,
She was
yeah.
cursed by it.
And
'Cause,
she's
yeah,
like, and Theseus is hot.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well-
like, okay, well, I'm not gonna find better than this. You know, I mean, You know, clearly you're the hero of this story, and
yeah.
He's gonna be the Witcher.
well, she probably foresaw a son.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
that
she
too.
probably foresaw all of that. You know,
Oh, I
and
didn't
it's just
think
like
about
okay,
that.
you know,
She's like, you know, I do
that's
want to
all
be
I
a
need to
mom.
know.
That sounds great.
That's all I need to know.
I'm gonna
If
do
that's a
this.
possibility, then there's only one way to make that happen.
Yep.
You know,
So, what? Jesus, Mickey Rourke is looking for her to
Yes.
try to find.
There's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them.
But
One is the
only one's
real
the real one.
Oracle,
Yeah.
and the rest are decoys.
I think they called them
essentially.
the Virgin Oracle.
Virgin
well,
Oracle.
she was the Virgin Oracle.
The
rest
but
of them
they
were
were
just
all
the-
just oracles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the other 3 were just oracles, but the Virgin Oracle
Right.
is
Is
the
the one
actual
that-
one that has the visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's looking for her
Yeah.
because there was a little.
There's a bow. That
There's
is
a glittery
key.
bow
Glitter
that
bow.
looks terrible in the movie.
Well, it looks inconsistent.
That's the
Sometimes
thing.
it's
Everything
so
else,
sparkly and so glittery.
No,
it looks
the
like
thing that got me-
night incarnate.
The thing that got me is it's like that's a bow that they just went to like an Academy Sports, picked it up, and was just
And
like,
then
here,
bedazzled
build
it.
it. Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it was that. I think it just got a little like little black coat. Then they put a little like silver coat. Then they put a clear coat, and they're like,
And then they
That's
did
good.
some
Solid.
glitter.
you know, glitter, another clear coat. And
That's
they're like,
right.
yeah,
good enough.
Yeah, mythological.
I don't like the way the bow itself looks, but I
Yeah.
love the draw.
The draw is
Yeah.
awesome. It's
Yeah,
really good.
The bow is awesome in concept. I
Yeah.
just wish it looked better. I
Did you
wish it was more consistent with the rest of the film.
Did you see
is
when
what it is.
Hyperion
It just
drew that
stands
bow?
out.
And did you see how quickly?
Hyperion drew it all off center.
Off center.
Uh-huh.
And the whole time he was struggling to use
You're like,
it.
man,
just
do
holding
it in the middle. Do it in the middle.
Right. Well, I think that it was supposed to indicate that he was not supposed to be the wielder of the bow.
Oh,
You know,
like it
that's
was
the
rejecting
thing.
him.
Right, exactly. So he's fighting against it the whole time. That's why you see in her visions, it's Theseus holding the bow,
Right.
and he's standing next to Hyperion.
So he needs to be
So
his
he needs
weapon,
to be
kind of
exactly.
thing.
He's the one because he was just working it with finesse. Now that's one thing that I kind of disagree with that movie because he got that bow. Bulliminas comes, he drops the bow, and hides. Right, he's not sitting there. He's not even worried about the bow. Nobody even gives a fuck about the bow. And then the weird hyena thing just comes and snatches the bow.
Yeah.
and the bow's just gone, and that's just it. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we found this bow that's keeping all the Titans locked away, and
It was in a rock.
it's gone. Yeah, it was in a rock next to where I buried my mama.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
it just happened to. I snagged
that was
her.
convenient.
I snagged her body on it. I didn't know what it
So
was,
is that,
and so
like that's part of what I don't understand about that. So it was like in a rock, but it was wedged up into the part of the crypt itself. So,
right.
Yeah.
So
it
part
was
of the
like-
bow was actually sticking out and
Oh,
exposed.
yeah. And
Because he
that's
tried to
what-
pull it, and then it made the magical
that's what
sound.
she got caught on.
Uh-huh.
So that's when he went and.
So I'm like, so you never tried to
was
put
that?
anybody else's body in there?
And how'd they rock
How'd
it up
you
like
build
that?
it?
How did they?
Right. Well, they had to actually like destroy that hole. They had to create that hole
They had
for
to
the
build-
bodies to go in there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like the architecture
to see
throughout
it.
throughout the movie is just kind of built into the side of cliffs and mountains.
Yeah, like
You know
Mount
what I mean?
Tartarus is
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Totally.
Yeah.
But that was a body shaped hole.
That one didn't
that
make
the
no
bow
sense.
was
That didn't
sticking
make no
out
sense.
of.
You
Like,
know?
who missed that?
Man,
Is that
How did somebody-
really where your suspension of disbelief? Like,
I mean, it's one of those
That was
places.
a- that was a
Yes,
hard
it bothers
one.
me.
Yeah,
that one really
that one
bothers
is
me. You know, it'd
Yeah.
be one thing if like the rock was like attached to the wall and there was like the bow wasn't coming out and
Out,
exposed at any point. I would get that.
Yeah.
But it was literally
yeah,
exposed.
part of it was exposed. That's
Yeah.
what doesn't make sense
Exposed.
with that
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And there are all
Yeah.
these bodies like everywhere else, so people come down
So
there.
they
mourn
dug
the
it
dead
out, but
all
they
the
didn't
time.
cut this one piece of the bow off.
Yeah.
out.
Right,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, what?
well, they cut the rock around the bow, and then they're like, "Oh, that's pretty."
I'll just leave that there.
Yeah, that'll
Look,
be
it's got
that'd be
clear
nice.
on it.
That'd be nice, right? You know, that'd be really nice for somebody who wants to bury their mama here.
Yes, right.
You know, they
It's an
might like
ornament.
this. You know,
Man.
like what?
No, that one did get me too. You know,
Yeah.
but I will say, you know, this movie is. It has some editing issues and it has some consistency issues with like concepts like that.
I think for the first half, I wasn't really all that impressed with it.
Yeah, except for those
Except
fight
for that,
sequences.
yeah, the first
the
fight
fight
scene where
sequence.
he's like
But-
fighting the guards and he like puts the sword to the guard's neck and he's like backing him
Yeah,
down.
yeah, that
you
was
know what I'm
rad.
saying? That was rad, dude.
Yeah.
The dude tries to stab him with a dagger.
He immediately shifts that
reverses
right
it
back
on
to
him
him.
like,
Yeah.
oh.
Dude, and the way
And then he gets fired from the army.
gets
Yes.
fired from the army, then he goes to see Mickey Rourke, and Mickey Rourke smashes his.
He makes him into
Oh my
Theon
God,
Greyjoy.
dude! When he
Theons him.
Woo! woo.
Oh, yeah,
They
with
just,
the hammer.
dude, he takes that hammer and he does it like putt-putt.
Well,
He's like,
yeah.
let me put this one
Well,
over and put this one.
He kicks his legs.
So he's spread.
He's like,
and then this boy, the beast is going for a hole in one.
Knocks his nuts up into his throat. Oh my god. Yeah, and then slashes it. And
That
slashes
was one of
his face
those
off
like
with
hands
the
has
forehand.
first.
That was
Yeah.
one of those situations where it's like, oh, pause.
Oh yeah, dude,
Uh-huh.
that was
Yeah,
rough.
that was a lot.
But so the priest, man, the priest is sitting there, you know, because they got the thief dude that's the defector, and then they got the priest, and the whole time Mickey Rourke's talking shit about this priest.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely,
he's-
the whole time.
You know, he's like, well, he'll tell me eventually, you know, and then the priest snatches up these scissors and he puts them up to his throat, and he's like,
your religion.
Yeah.
It's like, you cannot take a life,
You can't
not
take
even
it,
your
not
own.
even your own.
And it's like he gets this minute where he's like, shit.
Yeah, he starts.
He knows that, and he's like,
oh.
oh yeah, but
He was like,
I
I'll
got a
make you.
tongue.
Yeah, well, he was like, I'll make you talk. I have ways to make you talk. And he's like, oh yeah, I got a tongue. Yeah, lop.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw old boy.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I got ways of making you talk without a tongue. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Who are you, man?
Yeah,
Who are you? Why don't you already know where the bow is? I don't understand.
that's right.
Man,
You know?
yeah. And then the priest, like, you know, ends up joining the away team.
Yeah. Like Hyperion was very.
He's a
Genghis
memorable.
Khan.
He's a memorable.
Very
He
fucking
was
Khan.
very
yeah.
Genghis Khan.
Well,
you know?
funny you said that because we were kind of talking about in comparison to
Noah. Yeah, so he's a
And-
lot like Tubal-Cain.
To the point to where I was just like, is that the same guy?
Yeah.
Like I had to look
Right.
that up.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
it's
remember
very
who that
very
guy is,
similar mannerisms. And
Yeah,
like
just a bastard.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
bastard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's sure of himself being a bastard and doesn't care.
Oh,
at
he's
all.
so
Yeah.
comfortable being a bastard.
Yeah.
I love the way Mickey Rourke's beard looks in this.
Oh
Looks
yeah,
good.
he's got
It's so
serious
textured.
beard.
You
Yeah,
know, it's
man.
so yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I really hated Theseus's his speech.
Oh,
At the
dude, that
end.
shit's.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
come
It
on.
was the
That was your hype
worst.
speech, man.
Right.
Like,
That's it? That's all you got?
You might as well just been like, they can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Feel
But
a lot
instead,
like
he
that.
said they can take our lives, but we are immortals.
Yeah.
It was like, God, dude, like really just
we're
found
not-
that.
So
shit
they
in.
so they can't take our lives. So get out there, poke him with swords.
Yeah, right. Stick with the pointy end.
And then they kind of also rip off the whole 300 thing, where it's like, well, they can't. Their numbers mean nothing in the
tunnels. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that they draw from other sources.
Like I said,
you know?
that was just a trend
It
at
was
that
yeah.
time. That style of movie
watching
was a
this
trend.
out of the trend, it's probably easier to appreciate.
Right.
Also,
yeah.
while playing Hades.
Also playing Hades,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Speaking-
definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. That
So
goes a long
overall,
way.
Immortals, good movie.
Immortals is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
check
well,
it out.
hold on a second. Hold on a second, because what we didn't talk about is these slow-mo fucking fight scenes.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
that really, to me, the two things that stand out more than anything in this film is number one, every bit of the architecture.
Yeah.
Every time they
Yeah.
show a new structure,
Yeah,
every time they
it's
show
nice.
an area, it is gorgeous. It's exactly
This
like you
is-
expect from
This
Tarzan.
is one of those. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is another one because of its Tarsum. You can literally pause at any point and you have.
and it's
like
a painting.
Yeah.
Exactly,
You
dude.
have a beautiful
Like
scene.
like
Like
the
when
the
Zeus
pool.
which
did
is
that,
which is why I don't think I was really liking it, because I think I was trying to criticize it a little bit more like during the first half, because like I told him, it's like with him, when he sees something like visually great, it's just immediate, just like he doesn't question it at all. When I see it, I'm like, okay, what's it trying to tell me? What is it trying to distract me from by giving me this pretty image?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
In this case, I don't think they were
I don't
trying
think
to
that's-
distract.
yeah, I
I'm
don't think
very
it was really that
skeptical of
deep.
pretty things.
Right.
And, like,
Yeah.
it's really not. It's just,
Yeah, like
it's
when he
very
decapitates-
straightforward, but it's beautiful.
He like decapitates that soldier. He like pushes him to the bars, decapitates him, and then kicks him off the top of the cliff.
Man.
You know, and then they give you
Yeah.
that wide shot of dude just dropping all the way down. And it's
That's
just like,
great.
okay, well, that's pretty impressive.
Man,
you know,
dude,
like,
speaking about decapitations, that shit Poseidon does, where he
Decapitation,
knocks like three boys down, and he brings his staff or his his
Yeah,
trident
trident
sideways
sideways.
and decapitates them all at once. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, see, that's one thing that I was really kind of disappointed on, is that like you don't really get to see a lot of the gods' actual powers. That's what I was saying earlier. Like Zeus, you don't see him like flexing lightning.
no, they're just fast.
You
They're
know,
just all fast
yeah,
and
they're just
strong.
all fast, and they're all like you get to see like it wasn't Aphrodite, Who was-
Athena.
Athena.
right? She just kind of does her little like
She's got those
spin
commas.
around.
What's up with that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was super weird.
Yeah.
She does her who did that? That was a Wonder Woman. We used to spin
Oh,
around,
totally.
and then
Yep.
now I'm not a peasant girl anymore. I'm Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know.
Yeah.
And then Zeus did the same thing. He's like, he's like, show yourself. Well,
Yeah.
no, it was reveal yourself.
Reveal
And when
Reveal
she
yourself.
stepped out of the
And then,
wall,
well,
that
at
was
first
cool.
she didn't step out.
Yeah.
So he had to do his little spin. He spun around.
He did a little
and now
spin,
he's
yeah.
glittery. And he's like, reveal yourself.
He's no
Hello,
longer
Father.
John Hurt.
You know, yeah, right.
Now,
And it's
now
just-
I'm a model.
yeah, right. I'm just like, dude, like, where are your powers? Even when they jump back up to Olympus,
Yeah.
you just see like this little, beam of light,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like, I've been, and it's Hades' fault, right?
Yeah.
It's all Hades' fault. I've been over here dealing with this Zeus that's just like, nah, man, lightning. That's what I do.
Lightning,
We're gonna
lightning,
attach
lightning.
lightning to your dash.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. It's like, how do we
make it
attach
all lightning?
Yeah,
Yup.
I want to see nothing but lightning all the time.
Lightning
All the time.
counterattack.
Yeah.
Lightning cast.
You know,
Lightning,
absolutely.
yeah, man.
You know, you want to go to the pee? Okay, you
Poseidon.
You gonna go pee?
It's Poseidon.
You pee lightning.
It's waves
You
and
pee lightning.
treasure.
Yeah.
You know, waves and treasure.
Right.
That's what
That would
you
be-
get from
Exactly.
Poseidon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
But these guys didn't have much of a character other than Poseidon.
Right.
Because
Poseidon represented. Yeah, he definitely manipulated the sea, which was amazing.
Oh, dude,
you
it was
know?
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
just
super good.
came down, rolled on it.
But outside
Yeah.
of that, it was
Yeah.
just super speed.
I loved it how because this is a cool one when he punishes Ares.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that whip.
because
Dude,
comes out
he
with
just
that whip.
whips him right into the fucking wall.
And then notice this. It's like they cut that piece of the wall out and brought it up to Olympus because they had his scorched, deflated body
Yep.
Yeah.
shoved in that wall as like a piece because
Yep.
he brought his hammer over and set it down on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like, well, this is Hades now.
Well,
or
that's
this
the
Ares
thing. It's
now.
like,
Yeah,
see,
right.
Athena during that scene, she did exactly what she was supposed. Like what?
Well,
Like
she just came in and talked.
She-
She
yeah.
was just like,
She was-
"Hey, y'all may want to get out of here."
yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah, man. Because they're not supposed to help the mortals.
right?
Yeah.
You know?
In
But
God
then-
form.
Yeah, but then as soon as the Titans get unleashed,
Oh,
then,
Then
it's
they
all
can help.
hands on deck.
Yeah.
and at that point, like
But that's when I was really looking for all these powers.
and they didn't really have powers. The fight scenes
They
were still
just,
really
they
cool.
were just strong, and they
Yeah.
were fighting a whole bunch
Man,
of strong
him
enemies.
using that chain.
You
Come
know,
on,
yeah, I mean,
dude.
it's cool. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's not cool.
Yeah.
I'm saying that these gods didn't feel like their actual counterpart. They're parallels in Greek mythology.
Theseus
Like,
is closer,
yes,
and Zeus is closer to himself only because he also does the old man trick.
And he
Because
turns
that's
right,
into an
right,
eagle.
but
Yeah, and he
not,
turns into an eagle.
But,
yes,
but
yes.
not in combat.
Not in combat, no.
combat.
None of them
I
in
felt
combat.
because I
Uh-uh.
feel like the whole movie.
I guess
leads
Ares is
up,
fine, right?
Leads up to this ending fight scene that really has nothing to do with Theseus and
No,
whoever
he
else,
gets
you know?
separated from it. You're right, which
because
is
it's not about that.
But
right?
I also like
So-
it that there's also a war going on, and there's also the fight between Hyperion and Theseus.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
just remember
That's
when the
cool.
movie first came out and I saw the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They painted the movie as something different than it actually was.
They did.
Like you expected more from the fights with the gods.
Way more gods.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
really about that at all.
Right.
You know,
There's
until the
two
very
scenes,
end, and then when
yeah,
it
they're
is
small.
about that, it's not about the gods doing godly shit. They're just like, hey man, we watched Matrix 2 and
Yep.
Yeah.
we can do that. You know.
I
So-
still think the way that they did this slow mo,
And then they just collapsed the whole shit. and
Oh
shut it
yeah,
all down.
yeah,
I was
really.
like, what, a
That's
20-minute
kind of cool.
scene?
Where he's like,
Yeah.
How
pull
long
him
was that
down.
fight? That fight was maybe like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
yeah, maybe, yeah, and that's
Maybe.
that's including a war and
shorter
a
than that.
yeah.
Probably like 10.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It just
Like-
seemed like they were wrapping up the movie.
They did.
It seemed like they were
That-
like,
that's-
okay,
they felt
let's
like we gotta
just
wrap
shut
this up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's shut it down.
Theseus does become a god though.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
end, he gets his wings.
Yeah,
you know what I
he's,
mean?
up, he's up there just fighting. He just
Yeah.
fight.
It really
Right.
makes me some of that really does remind me of like animated Hercules,
Yeah.
like to a degree. You know what I mean? It's
I
got that
gotcha.
kind of feeling to it. You know?
Right.
But yeah, I don't think this movie's amazing. It is amazing to look at, but I think
It's
it's a
entertaining.
fun time.
It's
I think it's a
entertaining.
fun
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
worth
Yeah.
it. Definitely worth at least one watch.
Yep. But it's a lot like The Cell with Tarsem, to be
Oh,
honest,
yeah,
where it's
absolutely.
one of those where if you're just looking at it and you're just taking things for face value and not trying to think about it too much, you're like, oh, this is a fun, enjoyable movie.
Right.
But as soon as you start picking it out and start looking at the editing flaws and start realizing that some of the acting isn't really there and all
Yeah.
that stuff, then you're
Right.
like, well,
Yeah. I mean,
you
it's
know.
just a
But
fun
that's
Yeah.
but that's movies in general.
that's a lot of
A lot-
movies,
it's
right?
just a
You
lot
know,
of movies,
it's
yeah.
very hard to be this level of amazing visually and also kill it in all the other
Right.
places. You know,
Yeah.
It is a very lost my thought.
Oh, I thought everybody's
I
dirty.
feel you,
Is that
though.
the thing?
I feel
yeah,
you.
you see
Yeah.
what I'm
I
saying.
feel you. I
Yeah.
got you.
It's a very,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I
definitely.
got lost
it was,
in my mind
It,
palace.
it was good. It was good to watch again. Would I want to watch it again like today?
No.
I'm good. I'm good on it. You know.
But
But
I think it's a
still-
fun watch, and I think
Absolutely.
it leads directly into roguelikes. Well,
Roguelike.
Hades. I mean,
Well,
I forgot it
Hades
didn't say
specifically.
Hades.
I was like, I don't know if it really leads
We're
here.
gonna-
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna end
forgot.
up-
Hades.
We're gonna end up mentioning a couple other roguelikes.
Yeah,
but
we are.
okay,
We
so
are.
you
Yeah.
guys have been playing
Obsessively.
We've been playing the Hades out
You've
of
been playing the
Hades.
Hades.
I'm trying to play
What-
the Hades out of Hades.
I
There's
know.
just more Hades. It's
He's-
just-
I
He's
know
coming
how
back.
you feel. I know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about it?
It's amazing.
yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
It's dwarfed everything else.
Is there-
It
is
might
there
be one of
anything-
my top 5, definitely in my top 10 best games ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I can
Ever
I can feel that. That's the way I felt about it because I heard about it from a friend when it first came out.
Right.
What is it, like maybe a year or so ago? It had-
That was 2018. Wasn't
2018?
It was
Okay.
2018, 2019.
Wow.
2019, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a little.
So
it
it's
was
been
couple
out for a
years
while,
ago.
but it has recently gone to multiple, even more platforms.
It's been exclusive
Well,
on
it's-
Switch
yeah,
for
Switch
this
exclusive,
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
For-
Which is what I think is
well,
funny,
I thought it was
like mentioning
on-
it to Robbie, you know, and then he's like, "Man, that game's old."
He's
We're
like, I played that back in 2018. Or
It's
I mean,
still
I'm like,
rad.
I
because you
get
had a
that.
Switch.
It's
Yeah.
like, I
It's been
get that,
exclusive,
but
man. Nobody else got to play.
Yeah, but he was
It's
he
new
was
to
telling
me.
me about it, and
That's what I said.
I really don't get into roguelikes.
Yeah.
I'm not the big. There are some that I can like look at from afar, like watching you
Oh,
play
no, I'm
Binding of
sorry.
Isaac.
Binding, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm an idiot. It was March 19th, 2021. No.
No.
I'm
That's
sorry. I'm
that's-
tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm a sleepy boy.
He's been playing too much Hades.
I've been actually, and that is a reason why I started watching the movie so late. I had to
Right.
get 2 runs in.
Dude,
You know,
I was
I was-
watching him do a run, and then he's like, "I
'Cause
guess
he
after
popped
this
in,
run,
I
I'm
feel
gonna."
like I feel like Dad came in, and Dad knows that I got homework to do.
Yeah.
but he's just watching me play video games.
That's exactly
And
what
he's
I
like,
was
I'm
doing.
Gonna sit, he's
Because-
like,
because
I'm
he-
gonna sit
he
here and
was
watch you
even
play. He's like, you're gonna go to sleep during that movie, and I'm like, but Dad.
He's like, "No, I got one more run."
But that's the thing. This game, even though it's a roguelike, it's a genre that I don't necessarily like get into all that much. Personally, this again, like you said, this
It was
is
September
this is
17th,
definitely top
2020.
5 in my top 5 favorite games of all time.
I mean, with it
Yeah.
with it having the charm that it does, the characters,
Right.
with it having the gameplay as tight as it is, it's
Absolutely.
really hard to argue.
Dude,
Yeah.
with,
I mean,
dude.
the mechanics themselves are so rewarding.
Mhm.
Every button press is so rewarding. Moving
Yeah.
around each of the maps is so
Yeah.
rewarding. Each one of the weapons, there's not a bad weapon. You know, they're
Not
all
really.
there's
I
not a
have-
bad
I
weapon.
Yeah.
See, I think also like Immortals, the bow sucks.
You know,
yeah.
the bow is magnificent.
I-
See,
I'm
the
not a
problem
fan
is,
of
I like the
bow.
bow the
Here's the
least.
problem.
That's all I'm
Here's the
saying.
problem.
That's
Here's the
all I'm
problem.
saying. I
is
don't
that
think
you
it's bad.
haven't
I don't.
you haven't upgraded the bow.
No,
What
getting
you-
the right run,
what
getting
you
the right run.
No,
like,
no. Listen to me for a
okay,
minute.
okay, I'll listen.
If you
to
get it's called the aspect of Chiron.
okay,
Okay, what that does is it makes your special homing. So
Oh, okay.
once you shoot somebody with a standard arrow, then for your next 3 shots of your special, they home to that enemy.
that's nice.
So it's amazing. So if you're sitting there, and I mean, it's arguably, if you look it up, that is the number 1 weapon in the entire game. But
What?
yeah, it's the fucking bow, bro. But it's like if you're in a boss battle, you don't even have to be close to them, dude. You
Yeah.
peck them one time with a charge shot,
Yeah.
which after a while you get into that rhythm. That takes nothing to get into the rhythm.
Right.
Hit them with that, and then all you're doing is you're just hitting Y, and dodging out of the way of
So
stuff.
you would say that your favorite weapon is the bow?
No, my
No.
favorite weapon was the bow before
fists.
Malphon. Malphon the Twin Fist is
Ooh.
my
Oh,
current
yeah.
favorite weapon.
Oh,
knew it.
boy,
I love
yeah.
it. I
Yeah,
love
it's so
Malphon.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's between Malphon and the Spirit. But see, here's the thing about it, right? Like when I first played the game, you
Yeah.
played in a very focused way.
Yeah.
You picked the shield, you ran with the shield exclusively
Until I beat the game.
Until
That's
you beat
right.
the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I started playing with the bow, and I love the bow. I love the shield as well. You know, it's
The
a great
shield
weapon.
is great. That's probably my favorite weapon.
It's amazing
because you can just Captain America motherfuckers. the whole
Yeah,
time.
right.
It's
It's a lit fucking weapon. It's really,
Yeah.
really good. However, I got my first actual clear on a meme run with Malphon.
yeah,
Right.
Like I wasn't even taking it
Yeah.
seriously. Next thing I know, I'm beating Hades, and I'm just like, "What is happening?" here?"
Tore 'em
You know,
up,
I've got
man.
another friend. She was the same way.
Yeah.
She was like, I didn't expect it, but my first clear was with the sword.
Wow.
You know, and so,
wow.
and I'm like, that speaks volumes about
Yeah.
this game and its
Oh, yeah.
design. You know, it's like,
Absolutely.
okay, well, I'm just gonna fuck around with this weapon. I don't
Yeah.
really like it, but I'll see how far I can
It
get.
really caters
And
to
next thing you
different
know-
play styles just with the selection of
Absolutely.
the weapon, and
I
that's
think
like, yeah,
I also beat the game first try with Malphon. So first time
really?
I
Yeah.
tried Malphon,
Yeah.
I got through the whole thing.
Because
Malphon,
Malphon
man,
is
if
hype.
You, if
Yeah.
you get the
Uh-huh.
right buffs on you,
Oh,
man, I'm sorry, you're
And
just crossing
see,
them up.
I feel like with the bow, if I get the right buffs, then I can use it better.
Absolutely.
I got one where you can charge your special, and then it did plus 500 damage to armor.
Yeah.
And then there was something else, I don't remember. But especially once I got to Elysium, where everything's got armor,
Yeah.
you could just completely knock it all off real quick with one
Immediately,
charge
yeah.
shot,
Absolutely.
charge special. You know?
Absolutely, and I can understand why people would, dislike the bow because it does have that.
You feel
charging.
exposed.
Well, yeah, right. It's
yeah,
slower.
that's
It's a
it.
slower pace.
And when you're fighting,
You know?
Minos over there that can off the screen come womp on you.
Exactly. Especially if
Yeah.
you
You know?
don't get your critical timing down.
Yes.
If you don't
Right.
get that crit timing down, then it's very, very
Yeah.
different.
You're right.
But
Because you have
once
to do it
put
when
that,
it flashes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so there are boons that will make that window a little bit wider
Yep.
for you.
Yep.
Or just make it charge up faster. There are also boons that'll make it where it'll fire like a flurry shot.
Oh,
so it'll
yeah, I
fire
saw
3
that.
shots like in Diablo. So you don't have to worry about that whole like
yeah,
charging
Absolutely.
aspect of it all. But when you
So-
get used to that, like it's kind of like switching to the rail, right?
I love the rail.
You know, like the
love it.
rail. The rail is high mobility but very low damage.
Right.
Like your initial
It can
shots
be,
are
yeah.
very low. Those
You're
initial
right.
8 shots until you boost that up, they don't do a lot. Now that grenade launcher,
Man, I had my grenade launcher procking Doom.
yeah.
No,
Did
dude,
you
you
ever,
do AoE and then everybody's got Doom and they get busted and then get busted.
Did you ever get the triple grenade launcher?
I saw
Where you
that. I
can
didn't try that though. Is it
boy.
worth it?
yeah.
Boy.
Okay.
Just
I'll
3.
grab
boom,
that.
boom,
I'll grab
boom.
that. They do
you
a
know,
little
like-
bit less damage, but because there's 3 of them, it doesn't matter. You're doing more damage.
No, I think they do the same damage.
No, they do
cuz-
minus 30% with the 3.
Well, I guess I had buffs on because
Yeah,
mine
you must
were-
have had some
well,
buffs,
I
yeah.
do tend to spec my special when it comes to range.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Your special
That's
is
right.
really what's doing all of your
Same
damage.
thing I did with the shield. Same
Yeah.
thing I did with man. You got to
Yeah.
make sure your specials solid. And I would rather have my buffs like the
boons.
the boons
Yeah.
that like curse you. So,
I always-
so whatever those
I
are.
keep thinking malfunctions.
yeah, malfunctions.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Always
We'll get to
spec
that.
up my dash.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause
Okay,
I'll dash
I heard
around
you
the
say
fu-
this.
yeah.
You were
Right.
like +1 dash. That's overrated. And I'm like,
Well, I think
I
he's talking
hear
about
you.
adding an effect.
Well,
to the
adding
dash.
effects to it,
dude,
but
having
yeah,
the
but
deflect
then-
on your dash,
Deflect
on
or
your
but it all-
dashes.
once
or
again,
lightning.
or having
Dude.
that Dionysus on your dash,
Yeah,
dude,
boy.
or having
it's
the,
all
the
about that knockback.
the-
that knockback, depending on the weapon that you see, and this is the thing. This is the genius.
So you
that
hear
is
this, guys?
Hades.
We all have different play styles.
Dude,
Absolutely.
We
look,
all have
and-
different.
And,
yeah.
and if you're explorative, man, like you can just find shit that you would never
Yes.
think should work very well,
Absolutely,
right? You know,
yeah.
like having
If
the
you're
bow
willing to
or having the-
experiment with things,
And
yeah.
there's duo boons. If you already have a
Absolutely.
boon, and then you get the right secondary
Well,
god, then they'll
right.
offer you something that buffs one that you already have to make it into something even more amazing.
Exactly. And the way that the game works is like when you pick up a boon from a god, and then you're more likely to get more boons from that god.
Right.
So if you
well,
start
and you're
off
more
and-
likely to get more rarer boons as
Well,
well. too.
that's
Does it
if
increase your
you.
rarity
That's
too?
well, no. That's if you pick up more boons from that same
that
god.
same god,
then
yeah.
you can have a chance to
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
legendary boon or a heroic boon.
they'll get you more and more. Like that's the thing. It's like if you grind with one specific god,
Yeah.
you're more than likely to get like the rare or the legendary.
I grind on
guys.
chaos, guys. I
right.
grind on
Right,
on
but chaos,
chaos.
like I simply offer you a
Dude,
choice.
his design. When I first started playing that and I ran into that dude, first thing I did, pull out the phone, is like, oh, I got
And he
show
sent it to me.
motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He
I was like, I
immediately
gotta
sent it
show
to me.
Phil
and,
this.
And it really does, like, even, we were talking about this earlier.
The character designs
It's
are
like a
character
goddamn
design,
gorgeous.
the voice acting,
Dude.
all the voice acting. Is so
but
perfect.
Chaos looks like a
script
Persona
is so
boss.
perfect.
or
Yeah, he
something,
does.
dude.
Yeah.
He looks
where
like
he's
a
just holding the earth.
little bitty
It's
earth.
So small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's completely genderless. He's just absolutely this
Faces
neutral
all
being
mutant
that's
faces.
everything at once
Yeah.
and doesn't care about anything
Well,
you
he
have to say.
references
Pretty
it.
much,
He references it. He's like,
Yeah.
like all these guys, Lord Zeus seems to believe that he's the All Father, but
Yeah.
I think he's forgotten about me.
that's right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, wow. It's like, okay, yeah, everything did spawn from you.
I
from
like
nothing.
it that Chaos can't sense you because you have a shadow around you because
Yeah,
of
from
Nyx.
Nyx.
So,
Yeah.
so Nyx, apparently the way that this goes is since Nyx is the mother of the fates, right? She enshrouded you in darkness since you're not actually supposed to exist, so that is being unseen by the fates.
Right.
And
So
I
they
think
can't
it's,
watch your movements.
Because you mention it to her and she's like, yeah, let's just not.
And
let's
that
not
I
talk
think
about
is,
that.
is the thing that really draws me personally into this game and makes me like it a lot more than I like other roguelikes. Is the way the lore works,
dude,
and the
it's-
fact,
it's
dude,
supreme,
like,
supreme.
when you die, it doesn't feel like a fail state, really.
No.
I feel like I get like every time I got like crushed like during a run, and you guys have finished it. I still haven't finished it. This is a game I'll be playing for the rest of my life. You know,
I'm right there too.
but
man.
it's okay
yeah.
because every single time I die, I'm just like, oh boy, I get to go talk to my friends.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Well,
I get to go
I mean,
pet
I wonder what they're
Cerberus.
gonna say this time.
Right,
Gotta
because
pet
they
your
do-
Cerberus.
Gotta pet Cerberus
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, it definitely rewards repetition.
Yes.
Because like it doesn't make repetition feel repetitive.
No.
Absolutely.
Whenever you come
Yeah.
back, you know, Hypnos will actually talk about the specific way that you died.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was fighting.
Yeah, you
I was
need
fighting.
to stay away from those guys.
I was fighting Meg the Fury at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, now after you finish the game, they give you, I mean, slight spoilers, but they'll give you these different modifiers that you can add to the game to make it more difficult.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you turn up your heat gauge, right?
That's
Which
right.
gives you all new bounties as you go through, so you can
Cool.
get another stack of like Titan blood or your diamonds or
yeah.
your ambrosia, whatever it is that you want. But there's one that will actually alter the bosses and make them do different things.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so for the Furies, the first boss, it'll make it so that instead of fighting either one of the three Furies, either Meg, Electo, or Tisiphone,
You fight all three of
Electo,
them.
you fight all
ooh,
three, right?
boy.
So when you do that and you fight all three of them, what it does is it puts one of those three at the helm, and then the other two offer support.
Yeah, they just
So,
assist in.
They'll
the whole
do
time.
like
Yeah.
they'll do their movements on top of this other character that you have to kill.
Right.
Now the cool thing,
Electo's the
weird,
hardest, I think, because she
I
has
think-
that rage mode.
yeah,
You know.
right. She
Yeah.
is. She is.
I don't know,
Tis
man.
ain't
I
much.
didn't feel.
But
I felt like
here's-
Mega was the
here's-
hardest.
I could see
honestly.
that. Yeah.
Meg is. I think Meg's the hardest because when you first meet her, you're not ready.
You're not
You're not-
ready.
you're not
No,
ready.
because
You
they
know,
step
and
it up
so-
real
You are
quick
not
on
It
that
happens
one.
real fast, right?
Man.
Now the cool thing here is that okay, you go back and you turn that off, right? What do they call those things? There's a word for them.
It's
God, they call them. I forgot. Anyway, if you turn
Yeah,
that
it's not coming to
effect
me, man.
off,
Yeah.
when you get, I got back to Meg, and Meg was like, I thought that you would never turn that effect off. She was like, I was so sick of having to share this space with my sisters. Thank you so much for turning that
Yeah,
off.
'cause she
And
is
I was
not-
like, I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Why,
She
why you
doesn't
gotta
like
be
her
so
sisters
aware,
at
dude?
all. Yeah.
Right. But being so aware
Where-
of a mechanic in the game
Right,
to that
yeah.
degree to write a line of
it's so
dialogue
stupid.
for it.
It's so great.
And you know
Dude.
when you get to the end and you're in Styx, right? You don't have any death defiance left. You walk up to one of the wells of
And
Charon,
and you
it
don't have
has
enough
the
money for it?
refresher.
It's like,
He's
I coulda
"Man,
used
coulda
that.
used that.
Coulda
This is a
used
bad
that."
time to not have funds." They'll say some
Absolutely.
shit. And you're like,
Absolutely. Dude,
"Man,
I
that's what
play-
I was thinking."
Yeah.
I play a game with Zagreus every time I walk in to fight Meg because he'll be like, I bet it's Tisiphone. I'll be like, I think Electo.
Yeah, we did that.
Right?
last
We
night.
did that last night. Both of you thought it was Meg. And
We
I'm
both
like,
thought it
I'm
was
going,
Meg.
you and Zag.
Me and Zag
You
thought
and
it was
Zag
Meg.
thought it was. And I was like, nah, man. I'm like, I'm going Electo.
Going Electo.
And I went in there and it was Electo. I was like, hey, just all these little ways that the game is so self-aware. You know, like
dude.
Zagreus as a character, he does a great job of just channeling you.
Yep.
You know, and just
I
channeling
mean,
how you
sometimes
might feel
he
about it.
makes comments that almost sound like he heard what you just said.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously,
It's
like
real crazy.
sometimes
Surreal.
you'll pick up a boon from Charon's pool, and I'll be like, might as well. He'll be like, might as well.
I
and it's
love
like,
Charon.
what the fuck, man?
They had to have
I love
recorded
Karen.
people's reactions and then just made him record lines that were the playtesters' reactions.
I think we're seeing
Like,
that a lot
really,
in gaming.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
Super meta shit.
Yeah,
Super.
absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it really does draw you in.
Man,
Absolutely.
so you were mentioning Hypnos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you beat the game, right, it loops you again. Okay?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you what actually happens after Hades. I did show him the Hades fight, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to tell him what happens afterwards.
Right,
I'm
okay.
not going to ruin that shit for him.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just not.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
don't
have to
know.
get to it. I'm gonna make
Right.
you.
That's on you.
Yeah. But
That's on
so.
you.
I'll just look it up online.
Yeah, do that. There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean,
that's
we-
on,
we-
that's
I
also
mean,
on
we
you.
probably
That's also
could.
on
I mean,
you.
yeah. I mean, we can talk about it,
But with Hypnos, man,
Yeah.
you know, you come back after you die at the end because you pretty much just get sucked back into hell.
Right,
And
absolutely.
he's like, oh, this must be those natural causes that mortals talk about all the time. You know, and then I did it again, and he's like, natural causes got you again?
Uh-huh.
Don't
Yeah.
worry,
It's just
you'll figure it out one of these days.
It's just like
so
when you died of
weird.
Hades, because
Yeah.
he'll be like, "Oh, it says here that you died from redacted." You know,
Redacted. It says
what is this
redacted.
Yeah, it actually says right here. It's like I ask everybody what this redacted thing is, and nobody seems to know.
So you said, do you want me to tell you what that room is?
Well, I went in there in a dream, and
Yeah. So you've
and I
seen the
fucked
room.
it up.
Do you want
Yeah.
me to tell you what the room is? It's real
No.
simple. It's super
I
simple.
mean,
It's not even.
You seem adamant about telling me what the room is, so sure, why not? Just go ahead and tell me.
It's a list of everything you've done.
Oh, okay.
It's
That
lists
makes
of
sense.
everything you've done.
That makes
there's
sense.
there's other stuff to do in there, but
That's primarily what it is.
But you
Yeah.
can go through and see every time you've died, and when you die to Hades, it says redacted.
Oh, that's
redacted.
awesome.
So that's
Oh,
the
so
funny
it's,
shit.
It's
yeah.
Hypnos' logs. His ledger.
That's exactly it. That's
Right.
all it is. It's the ledger of everything that you've done that you can't see in your normal menus. So
Oh,
it has all of the stats
That's
up
awesome.
to that point. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
You know, because like that's one thing about the game. Because I played through on Xbox One,
Mm-hmm.
and you know got my clear, and I put maybe like 32 runs in there, like somewhere around there.
Do you remember how many runs
I
was your
have
win?
so
Your
many
first win?
runs right
My
now.
first win was on my 6th run, 6th or 7th.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry. Maybe it was like my 8th or 9th.
Okay.
Because I had all the weapons
that's
unlocked at that
nice.
point. But
Wow.
well, like I said, I just got
Yeah.
lucky with Malphon. But
Yeah.
all this to say, have you tried to borrow money from Kayron?
Fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
I told you I fought an optional boss, and I didn't tell you who it
Boy.
was, did I?
Boy.
Yeah. So you'll go talk to Kayron. Son. I'm gonna go ahead and warn folks about this because I mean, to be honest, you probably don't
there
want
it is.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. I got derailed, and that's why I took us to Kayron, but I'll talk about it later. Go ahead.
Okay, like I'm just gonna warn you about this, so you can go talk to the ferryman, and he totally has
pile of gold.
He's got items for you. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
normal thing. He's the vendor, okay?
Yep.
And he'll have 3 things, and you can either afford them or you can't. And I could not one time, and I saw a big old sack of money sitting over here behind him, and I was like, hey, let's check this out, and picked it up, and I
Well,
start getting.
it says borrow.
Borrow?
With the
Yeah,
question
that's
mark?
with a question
Yeah.
mark in red
I've seen-
letters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then when
Yeah.
you borrow it, he doesn't feel the same way that you do about it.
He
And
doesn't like
immediately
it.
you get taken into a boss battle, and he
he
rolls
yeah,
on you.
with his
Yeah, he
ore.
does.
He will wreck you with that ore, boy.
He does
Like,
more damage than anything I've seen in that game.
Absolutely.
He's
yeah.
obviously not a boss to fuck with.
No,
Right.
no, he's that optional boss that
I've been
like,
waiting
once you
to
feel
see
like
his
you're the
sack
ultimate
again.
badass. I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it
I haven't
again
seen it
either,
since.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I almost killed him. I got him down to like maybe
Dude.
about 24%,
I
23%.
didn't. I didn't. I might have got a third off of his health.
Oh
Maybe.
really? Wow! I was
Oh.
doing work, and then I was just like, "Holy shit!" And then one swipe, and I mean,
Well,
it
the
does
thing
hurt
is, I
super
needed
bad.
the money to get some health.
Right.
I needed.
exactly. Exactly.
And then you're all trying to talk to him later, like, yeah, you know, I mean, that was just a misunderstanding, right?
Right.
Of course,
Kara?
Karen
You know?
was just-
Yeah,
I love him so
And
much,
But
dude.
there are so many systems at play. As far as you know, like you were saying, like you can jump in, you can play, you could die, and when you come back, you feel like, hey, I'm not really
I just
losing
want to go.
anything.
Yeah,
because
I'm like,
the truth
it's,
is, like,
yay!
you
I
do-
get to go talk to my friends again,
Right, like-
because the dialogue is the writing, the voice acting, and just the way that these characters look,
Top notch.
Right.
just
Yeah,
are
phenomenal.
already perfect. But I think it was like, because I mean I've got so many fucking runs. I think it was it wasn't until my 100th run that I ever saw a repeated piece of dialogue.
I've been
And
waiting for it.
I
Really, man? I've
been waiting
literally,
for it.
and
Yeah.
I literally every single time that I died, I
talk to
will go
everybody.
around
Yeah.
and talk to everybody.
Me too.
I skipped
servers
that.
first.
I talked to
And
everyone.
then go talk to everybody.
Well, but the smart thing is, like, the way that the game is actually designed, like, you really have to take advantage of every opportunity that you have with certain characters if you
Absolutely.
want to actually progress
Yeah.
your affinity with them, which will affect future dialogue.
Absolutely.
Like when it comes to
and you got to give them
Orpheus,
nectar.
you
They
know?
haven't let me give Hades another nectar.
Yeah, that means there's something that you haven't done, and so at that point, I think that will probably be the last thing that you're able to do.
Give
because
him
I
the second
can't,
nectar?
right? Because I
Yeah.
can't. Because he's
Because
not
he's
your
got
friend.
the second heart
Yeah,
there.
that means that he's going to give you a gift, and
So how do you give somebody ambrosia?
To give him ambrosia, you have to. That's what I was leading up to.
Oh, okay.
Is like anytime that you come across someone like Sisyphus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You should take that opportunity to give them a nectar,
Right, or
Because you don't
yeah.
come across them very frequently.
Absolutely.
Eventually, you get to a
Eurydice.
point. Eurydice, it's important to give her nectar along with Orpheus, because when you get them both up to a certain level, then they will tell you more about their relationship.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
you can actually end up getting
See,
a
I
song to
heard-
give to him.
I heard
in order to get
Orpheus
him to
mention
sing.
that.
Yeah.
And so, because he even asked you, what song would you like to...
Cure-looking ass motherfucker.
Right? Yeah,
Right.
for real.
Motherfucker.
Totally. Look like Robert Smith.
Absolutely.
He was like, hey, you want to hear a song? You want me to sing a song? You're like, yeah. And he gives you a list of 3 songs. You pick one. He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
that would
I'm
be
not
a
in the
wonderful
mood.
song to sing for
Yeah.
someone that had the spirit in
Yeah,
them.
but
Too bad I don't
all of a sudden
anymore.
I don't want to sing it anymore.
And you're like,
but you get to a point where you
because you
get
asked him,
her
he said
song.
he lost his muse. That's
right,
exactly what he said.
So you get her song. The
Yeah.
name of that.
Oh, you
that
do?
song is.
Oh, man.
What is that shit
That's
called?
a beautiful fucking song.
It is so good.
Atlas,
Oh yeah.
come rest
Um,
your weary bones.
Please, I don't need that stuck in my head right now,
so
dude.
good.
I've lost sleep over that goddamn song. But but the truth is, you get that, and then he'll actually perform, and you can get more songs for Orpheus.
That's cool.
But like you give people enough of the nectar, then eventually they'll give you a task, right?
Oh.
And then you do that task for them, and then you give them ambrosia.
Whoa,
And
there's
when you give
quests.
them ambrosia,
Yep. What?
then they'll give you a companion that replaces your keepsake. And so it's like a call.
Yeah.
Except for it does like a lot of fucking damage, or the one from Sisyphus also heals you.
get a
Things
summon.
like that. You get a
Yeah,
summon.
boy.
Yeah, right. So I mean, the game just continuously evolves. Like
You
like
said it
one thing I was,
replaces your keepsake. Does that mean you no
yes.
longer get the buff from
so
your
you don't get the
keepsake?
buff from your keepsake, but you get this other thing, right?
Right.
But the funny thing is that some of them won't work on specific bosses, right? Because a lot of these guys are technically working for Hades, so some of them whenever they fight him, it's really kind of insane.
That's a
how it works.
conflict of interest right there.
It is
Can't
absolutely.
be-
They're like, I ain't trying to
Yeah.
get fired, man. You want me?
That's right.
I'm not being cast into the
I
pits
need
of Tartarus.
this
You see his
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
mustache? How
For
serious
real.
that man is? I
mean,
can't even
you
come
see
talk
what
to
was
him.
happening to Orpheus.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, and so, but it's one of those games that I feel like really does reward you just for having a simple playthrough. Like whether you're getting gemstones, whether you're getting
Yeah.
night shards, whether
No
you're,
matter what you're doing, it's rewarding.
Have
Yeah.
any of us looked anything up? I haven't looked
haven't.
anything up.
Yeah.
No. Okay,
No,
cool.
I've-
That's
I've-
really awesome.
No.
This is the
I've
kind of
looked
game
at-
that you
just-
don't even want to look
you
anything
just-
up.
play.
I looked at an update list because there was a patch,
Yeah.
and they actually, because the shield was broken, and it was like super good, and they ended up nerfing that. I looked at some patch notes, and it was just weird to look at all the things that
Aw,
happened.
Nerfed your shield.
They nerfed my shield.
Yeah, because the way that the ricochet
Fuck
worked.
this game. 0
Yeah.
out of 10.
Right? Right.
Would it just keep pinging sometimes?
Yeah,
Because I've had
yeah.
that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
but that's supposed to be
That's
an
how
upgrade.
I rolled on
Ping,
motherfuckers.
ping, ping,
Just
ping, ping, ping,
bing,
ping,
bing,
ping,
bing,
ping,
bing,
ping,
bing,
pinball.
just
Yeah.
dance the whole way.
And so when the game first released, that was
Yeah.
a big plus, but that doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
So I think we could easily talk about Hades forever, but we were going to talk about some other roguelikes, and I wanted to mention Until You Fall, because we talked about it a little bit earlier with
Yeah, I
Shell
saw
Games.
that. That was really good.
I just got to show him this
Just
for
before,
the first time.
Yeah, you showed me
right?
that just before you showed me the stupidest game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, Gorn. He saw
Gorn?
Gorn.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Gorn's
that's
so
goofball.
dumb. It's so...
So goofball. People
the
love that
way
game,
they
though.
walk.
Yeah.
Like, it's
People love
stupid
Gorn,
Hey,
man.
fun.
look.
It's like...
It's one of
Jesus.
those games. That's when we'll get back to Until You Fall.
Yeah.
But it literally is one of those games that it's just so ridiculously stupid that it immediately loops around to being just brilliant.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
laugh
ripping
and a
people's
half,
heads off
dude.
and shit.
It's
You
a
know?
laugh and a half.
People have like elastic skin. Like, what's going on?
The weapons are rubbery.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
You wiggle
super
them and they
rubbery.
go...
Just wiggle
Right.
rubbery
Like, this is a
weapons.
mace. This doesn't make any sense.
And they look like they're about to just fall over.
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
they-
time.
like they-
yeah.
The guy didn't even try to make real animations.
Not
They're
at
just
all.
they just have collision and they have a place they're trying to go.
Right.
That's it. It's so good.
And they can be dismembered.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah,
bash
it's
their
great.
head in. You get-
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good
This
time.
man came up and he had one arm and he was doing this. I was like, your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But anyway, so Until You Fall is to me the closest roguelike to the core gameplay of Hades.
So Until You Fall
kinda
is
looks like
a
Hades.
VR roguelike.
Yeah, it's
So
VR.
it's all first person. You use melee weapons. They have a really cool mechanic where you can fight against multiple enemies, but at the same time, they have awesome boss mechanics. So the boss will slash at you. They'll let you know with an indicator where you should dodge to avoid the attacks.
Where you're gonna block, where you're
I
gonna-
was
have to
telling
block
him it
and where you
feels
have
a
to do
lot
those
like
things.
it feels a lot like Skyward Sword, kind of like
Heard
Sword
that.
to some degree.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But it definitely rewards the amount of effort you put into your swings, which
Yeah.
is really, really cool. A lot of VR games kind of fail in that
Yeah,
way.
if you're light with them, you do light damage. If you swing into it, it really does do more. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
After every room, then you get a buff. You pick up the buff in your hand, and then you crush that motherfucker.
Yeah.
All of
and
that
you get the
stuff's so
power.
satisfying.
It's
Also,
so good.
I don't know how they did it, but I think they have some of the best auto kinematics for your elbows.
Yes.
That I've seen in a
Yeah.
VR game. Because most VR games, if you're only controlling your hands, your elbows do what the hell ever. And there's a
Right.
bunch of games where you're trying to, and your arms just kind of never are in the right position.
Yeah.
This one, you move them around, and you're like, oh wow, hey, that looks right, and you have body presence. And
Exactly.
You have,
Which means that if you want to fence on these fools,
You
you can
can.
fence on them.
Yeah.
Like, it really does open up a lot of options for movement.
Yeah.
the dash is great.
Yes.
You can pretty much level anything
dash
up the way
into
you
people
want.
and use
it
it as
does
part
a
of an
slam.
attack. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
cool.
as you level up and as you play with the different weapons in that game, it's really truly impressive. And then you can even have a spell on your offhand,
Yeah.
which is really really awesome as well.
What was it? Soulburn or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Soulburn.
Yeah.
Soulburn.
Yeah.
That's my Christian rock band.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Soul burn. I forgot.
That's my Christian hardcore band.
That's it.
Soul burn.
Get in that pit for Christ.
That's right.
Man,
Oh
man.
but yeah, just in case you didn't know,
There was
like,
so
Until
much
You
Christian
Fall is-
hardcore. Why was there so
Hey
much
man, I was
Christian
in that
hardcore?
scene. I
You
can't.
totally were.
I mean,
There was so
There was some
would
good
you put-
shit. There's still some good shit out
Yeah.
there.
Would
I'm
you-
sorry.
Oh, I'm not saying
Would you
they're
put
bad bands.
Flyleaf over there? Do
Flyleaf?
they count?
Not quite. They're like not
they're
quite in the hardcore camp.
Christian? Well, I don't know. There's some kind of whiny hardcore.
They are kind of
Yeah.
Hardcore is
Yeah.
pretty broad.
Pretty
umbrella.
broad.
I mean,
guess
I
you're
always
right,
just.
yeah.
I mean, I always just think of Blindside.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Blindside.
What's
too.
the name of that one band? They were more of like the mainstream Christian rock, but it was like what is it? The DC Talk? No, it's
DC
not. Is it DC Talk?
DC
Is it-
DC Talk was
That is
what I'm
definitely
thinking
a
of.
thing, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
remember
yeah.
that.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a
Yeah.
DC Talk
That's
kid
it.
back in the
Okay.
day.
Completely
Hell yeah,
forgot about
I
them.
thought I was
I had
misremembering
all
that
their
one.
albums.
Yeah.
all
Uh-huh.
all
Wow,
the way
I
up to
forgot
Jesus
about
Freak.
DC
Yeah.
Talk. Jesus Freak was one of them.
Jesus Freak.
Freak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Yeah, I am
All right.
thinking of the
Well,
right
That,
band.
that actually
That's the right
exists.
band.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And now you know it.
That's right. Scott
So
used
now
to be
I'm
him
not
a
the
Jesus
only
freak.
one.
That's
No.
right.
Hey man,
I was more of a POD guy. If I had to pick one of
Nah,
those,
if, I
man.
had to pick a Christian rock group, well, they're not
Oh,
really
I mean-
rock. Sixpence None the Richer is
Chariot.
that's my
oh,
favorite.
the
But,
chariot, the goddamn
The
chariot.
goddamn cherry.
It's funny
The
we're saying that
Chariot
because
is very good.
they are Christian, but you wouldn't know it. You'd
Right.
never know it.
Right. No, I would say Mute Math.
Oh, I don't even know
Math?
about them.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mute
Mute
Math.
Math.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They're
you
really
know?
good.
And so
Yeah, hell yeah.
that's probably my favorite
Cool.
Christian rock band of all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you would love Mute Math.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll tell you that. I'll send you some Mute Math tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll send you
yeah.
this typical by itself. And you're gonna be like, I get it.
Okay.
Blast through the
okay.
Rocket Man.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Like,
yeah.
that I would have to say. Blast through Rocket Man, 5 Iron Frenzy, the
Whoa,
Chariot.
5 Iron Frenzy. Wow.
Five Iron
Boy.
There you
Frenzy.
go. Yeah.
I've never listened
These are
to
some
that.
bands
5
that
Iron, yeah.
that have
Five Iron.
nothing
All about
to
that
do
shit.
with roguelikes.
With
but-
roguelike, let's get back. Let's get
God,
back on
how
track.
did we get all the way here?
Soulburn.
Soulburn.
That's
Soulburn.
how-
That's
Jesus,
how.
But
man.
no, I think Until You Fall, Until You Fall is like the closest to the general core of what Hades is.
Yeah.
When it comes
Yes.
to another roguelike.
Yes.
You know, but it also has nothing else in common with Hades other than that core mechanic.
I think
really.
the
Right.
art
Well-
style is kind of close.
Well,
It's somewhat similar.
I mean,
at least the
kind
color,
of-
the
the color palette. Yeah,
The
it's
color
very
palette
fantastic
specifically.
color
Yeah.
palette and all that. Yeah, I'll give it that. Yeah.
I really think that the problem with Until You Fall is that it's just one of the best VR sword fighting games. Period.
Really.
You know, like there's
It feels like a rhythm game without music.
Right.
It feels like
But it also rewards your swordplay. Like as somebody who's trained with swords, usually in VR, they want you to play with swords, not really sword fight.
Yeah.
I feel like Until You Fall rewards you for sword fighting.
And the block feels satisfying, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You get good at your dash, you can get it.
Absolutely. Now playing on PSVR is kind of a nightmare.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because I've only tried it with the Quest and the
Right.
that
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Light tracking is a problem, especially when you start getting like you get too free and you want to start styling on folks.
It's the same thing with Sirento, right?
Exactly.
They can't handle how good we are at being ninjas.
Exactly. Because once you hide that ball, then all of a sudden your arm goes wonky. Your gamma goes floating off.
What happened to your arm?
Yeah, for real. I don't know.
Did I show you, by the way, just a tangent here, that you can do external observation on the PC side with Sirento? You can set the desktop to external camera, so he was watching me from third person while I was playing it.
Right.
Interesting. That's a smart move. That's really smart. How did it look though? Did it actually
looked fine,
Looked
right?
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I still
yeah.
think that the body mapping for Sirento's jank.
It is.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's what I would be
it was
concerned
fine.
with.
Yeah,
Right.
she's always standing funny.
Yeah.
She's always crouching a little bit more than she should be, and
Yeah.
Do get to throw one of those,
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You can do finger guns.
Yeah.
Any VR game where you can finger guns.
You're good. That's right.
Yeah, that's the test of
That's how you
quality.
do
right
business.
there. That's right.
So, what are the roguelikes do you guys dig on?
I
You
don't.
know?
Again, Hades is probably the only one.
That's
that
the
I
only one
really-
you got?
that I really care about.
Did you play any Binding of Isaac?
I have played Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac is just fucking brutal.
It's brutal.
it.
It's
I
so
love that
good
game.
though. Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's good.
It's
Again,
so funny.
It's one of those things like Dark Souls where
Yeah.
I can watch it from afar and be like, "That is obviously a very good game. That is not for me."
Man,
Yeah.
I heard Edmund talking about how he goes back and looks at Binding of Isaac, and he's like, "Yeah, this game's great.
Yeah.
Wow, I was in a dark place when I made this."
Well,
There's
Binding
so
of
much
Isaac,
poop.
That was like we were discussing a couple weeks ago, where it's just like Binding of Isaac will probably still be my favorite roguelike, but Hades, I'm sure it'll get close.
Ooh,
and Hades
is
just blown it out of the water.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's no comparison.
Hades went, "Sorry."
Yeah, for real. It's like, well,
Sorry,
I'm
not
just gonna-
sorry.
Like, well, we played Binding of
let me just
Isaac. We
put
played
this
it too.
over
Like, we get it.
here.
We get it.
We
I mean,
played a
here's-
lot of Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, we played
Yeah.
a lot of roguelikes.
Yeah.
And so
See, I typically don't. So the question would better be like, do you guys have like a top 5 or even just like a top 3 roguelikes? At
Well,
this point?
those that we just mentioned, those
Obviously-
3 are definitely
obviously
on there.
Hades,
Hades
then
Until You Fall, and
Binding of
Binding
Isaac. Yeah.
and of course
Yeah.
Returnal.
And Returnal.
Definitely.
Which I picked Returnal back up to try to play this. That is a hard game to get back into.
yeah.
I was in a groove, and now that I don't have that groove, because you asked me where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to spoil this game for you.
But you were saying you were in the second biome or second playthrough?
Second cycle.
Second
That's why I was
cycle,
very
right.
specific with that wording.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to spoil what happens, but it gets funny.
Yes, okay. All right.
Okay.
It's a little fucky over there.
It gets a little fucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go back to the first biome differently.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Cool.
Okay.
See, I love when you'll have those things happen with roguelikes, because the question is, what happens when you actually finish a roguelike?
Yeah,
and a lot of those games, it's just like, okay, well, you start.
You
over.
get to go. Hit,
They have to-
that's
here's
what
your
it is.
score.
They've got to have
Go
a
play
good
again.
reason for it to
Yeah.
restart, right?
Exactly.
Hades has a great reason
great
for it to
reason,
restart.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
either way, whether you beat it or not, it completely fleshes itself out in
Absolutely.
canon.
Right.
Makes sense,
And
right?
you get to pet
And-
Cerberus again.
Right. And honestly, in order to get the real ending, you have to finish the game a few times.
yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Potentially with like all the weapons or whatever. Just
maybe
yeah.
that might make it
maybe, I don't
easier
know.
because you can get
All your
more of
buffs
your
and
buffs
everything,
and shit
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one other roguelike that I played and I actually liked.
Huh.
Rogue Legacy.
Oh, dude, Rogue Legacy's so good.
Rogue
never played it.
Legacy's really
Dude,
good.
oh my
It
god.
is-
Have
yeah.
you seen it before though?
Probably.
It's like if you took Ghouls and Ghosts and Symphony of the Night and
Yeah.
slammed them together into a
Obviously-
roguelike.
Obviously, it's not the first roguelike,
That's one
but
of my
that
favorites,
was
dude.
was one of the ones that actually kicked off the whole roguelike boom.
That was one of the big ones.
That was one of the
That
big-
came out
first
about the
big
same
ones.
time as when Bastion came out.
Yeah,
Right.
That
absolutely.
Bastion
Yeah.
launched almost at the same time.
Right.
And I remember I picked both of them up and I was playing playing Bastion pretty heavily again.
Because Bastion's great.
Yeah.
Bastion's amazing. Yeah.
And same guys did Hades.
Yeah.
Was
Supergiant.
Supergiant.
Not Supermassive, Supergiant.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Supermassive is also a badass.
They're also awesome though.
They're
Yeah,
also
so that's
very
the thing.
good. Yes.
But Rogue Legacy is hilarious again.
Oh, it's really good.
So it's really, dude,
funny?
it's so
It's funny.
It's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, because
I never
you
thought
get
so.
you. Okay,
Never thought that it would be.
Yeah.
So the whole conceit of it is
Right.
when you die, that specific character dies, and you just move on to one of their descendants.
and
So
they have
you'll
random traits.
And they'll have random
So
traits.
it's like XCOM.
Yeah, kind of like XCOM,
Yeah.
except
Right.
sometimes you get like dyslexia, and then you can't read anything that any of the text on
Any of the
screen.
text, yeah.
Or like sometimes you get there's one that's like I don't remember what it's called. It's like whatever the technical term, because every one of these is actually the scientific term for what the problem is.
Right.
Right. And one of them's like afraid of mice.
Yeah.
So if there's
So
a mouse,
anytime
then
see
you
mice,
will
you'll
run
immediately-
away.
yeah,
Like your
you'll
character will
immediately
just
run away.
Yeah, or
That's
like shit like
awesome.
that.
It's
But then
neat.
sometimes you
It's
get
super
like
neat.
gigantism, so you do
Yeah.
more damage. But then
Right.
you also can't fit in small spaces.
Right.
Or dwarfism, where you can fit in small spaces, but you
you
have
do
no
less.
knockback.
Yeah,
and then so
exactly.
every trait has its
Crazy.
own.
And it's
dude,
great.
And
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy 2 just launched on PC. They haven't talked about it coming out yet
Anywhere
on the-
else,
Yeah, but it probably will. I don't see
Yeah.
why it wouldn't, unless
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just a money thing, right? They are a small developer, but dude, Rogue Legacy is. I think it's called Cellar Door is the name of the company that did that. But yeah, dude, Rogue Legacy is one of my favorites. Period. Definitely in my
because you're
top
the one
5.
that got me on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I was playing the hell out of it when we lived
Yeah,
together.
you were.
Yeah,
you
man.
were, dude.
Uh-huh.
Like
Heard
come
that.
home and be
Yeah.
like, "What you do?" I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah, it's Rogue Legacy. Yeah, yeah, and but really, the map is exactly Symphony of the Night or Metroid. It's that
Yeah,
same
very much.
tubes and cross sections.
Right.
Tubes
Uh-huh.
and cross sections. You know,
Heard
Like
that.
it's side
Yeah.
it's side scrolling.
it's a
Right.
so not like
side-scroller,
Hades
yeah.
where it's like top down or whatever.
No,
Right,
No,
yeah.
Ghouls and Ghosts,
Yeah,
Symphony of the
very-
Night.
It
whole bunch
actually
of
looks a
roguelike.
lot.
Yeah.
It actually looks a lot like Ghouls and Ghosts.
It has that
Like
kind of
the-
look.
Yeah, the characters kind of look like Arthur every once in a while.
every
you
once in a
know?
while. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's great. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
super silly. You'll get flatulence and you'll just fart all the time. You'll
That is
get like
not what I keep
Dude,
imagining
it is-
when I
yeah.
think Rogue Legacy. Like,
yeah.
fuck, man.
Rogue
Okay.
Legacy is one to look out for.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So be it.
Nobody's played Scarlet Nexus, right? We haven't played this between the three of us.
I
No.
A lot of people really like this game.
People are loving it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
gonna have to
know
wait right
anything
now.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just anime roguelike. That's really
Right.
what's up.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm-
would
I'm
love
on
to check
board.
it out.
Me
I
too.
love to play it.
Me too, yeah.
You know?
But it's a
Absolutely.
full price game though, right?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a 60. That's hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
We'll have to
That's
see.
kind of it depends on what you want out of roguelikes, and it,
Yeah.
it depends on how much time that you're willing to give them.
I mean, Hades is probably worth the 60.
Hades,
Well,
Hades,
but-
Even
yeah.
but it's a $25 game.
But
about it?
here's the thing about
I think
Hades.
it's 30.
30.
Because I mean,
30 or
we keep
40.
bouncing back, right? But the thing about Hades is, versus something like Returnal, is the simple fact that when you're tired, you can hit quit, and then you can come right back to exactly where you were standing and continue your run.
Which is
You
part of the
know?
problem with Returnal.
Exactly.
You just can't.
You can't do that.
You have to
So-
commit.
Yeah.
Exactly, which means I'm just not going to play. I'll do daily challenges, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like after that, like whenever I jump back into the game, it's like, oh yeah, this game feels great to play.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, but I just don't have time for you.
You know, and tangentially about the PS5.
Yes.
I feel like so with Returnal, if we had a suspend state,
Right.
then it wouldn't make that a problem at all.
Exactly.
You suspend it, you move it over, you do your thing, whatever. You play
Right.
something else.
Right.
If you're trying to watch a movie, okay, cool. I'm just gonna have it over here. I'm gonna go watch a movie. The PS5, I don't think is as good at telling you, hey, we gotta close your game to run this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't tell you.
No, it just
Yeah.
closes the game, and then you're going like, well, wait, I thought I had Returnal running.
Right.
But I opened Disney Plus, so now I don't
And
have a game running.
sometimes it'll
Yeah.
have like YouTube and Hulu going and a game going, and it's like, okay, where's the line drawn?
Yeah.
Right,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish there was a
not very
clear thing. I wish we could just suspend state on a game that would make Returnal easier to play through.
I
It's
wish
hard.
that they would just say, okay, fine, the game's been out for long enough. We need to reach the acclaim that we are actually capable of reaching
Yeah.
by respecting the fact that you all have lives.
Because dedicating 4 to 6 hours of a day just so that you can do a run of this game
Right.
to actually get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, man.
And
Just-
sometimes that's just a fail. You know what I'm
That's just a
saying?
fail.
That's sometimes
Yeah.
that's just a fail and have to start over.
This is
So-
the only thing I'm gonna say about that second cycle. That's a stopping point.
Yeah.
You can actually stop playing the game. It'll bring you right back to the second cycle.
Right. Good. Well, they do that over the course of the game. Be like, okay, well, here's some abilities that you get. You never have to try to get those again.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They
Yeah.
do reward you in those ways. So that's
Yeah.
what I would imagine that. But that
we ended
doesn't
up just playing
change
challenges
the
at this
issue.
point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
At that point, it's just like that's what that game is to me, is challenge mode.
Challenge mode,
Because I
yeah.
love using the weapons and I love just interacting with the game.
The mechanics are great.
The mechanics are
It's
amazing.
prettier than I remember it.
Oh yeah, and the
You know?
sound,
And
the
then the-
sound,
and the
and
DualSense
haptics.
stuff.
The haptics
Jesus.
are
Yeah, the
absolutely-
haptics.
Yeah, they're mind numbing.
Jesus.
But
Man.
while we're on the subject of roguelikes, since we keep getting derailed by Christian rock bands, did you ever play The Persistence?
No.
Oh yeah,
No.
that's another one that
That's
I
another
love.
one.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's a really, really good one.
VR roguelike. I think I might have showed
It's
you this
flat
for a
as
while
well.
there. It's also flat now.
Yeah.
That's right. You can play it flat. But it's like a little Dead Spacey. It's a little it actually feels less like Dead Space and more like Event Horizon as a game.
Like
actually.
specifically.
Yeah,
because,
really. Yeah.
I mean, Dead Space was pretty much
It's right.
Event
It's
Horizon.
Event Horizon with way more like Cronenberg shit going
yeah,
on.
it's
right?
Cronenberg's Event Horizon.
But this is way more that vessel floating in space, zombies on it, right? It's that
Right.
kind of thing, and the monsters get harder and all this stuff. That's a really cool game though. It's
Cool.
mostly a stealth game, I would say.
Right.
But you can have open combat with things. That's just fine.
Yeah.
The upgrades are cool. But it's brutal. It is a
I believe
brutal
it.
Yeah,
game.
they will kill
Yeah.
you. They will definitely kill you. So
I think they
stealth
handled
can
that
be
one
preferred.
odd,
Yeah.
man, because they had the regular version of the game,
yeah.
and they launched it in VR, and it was VR only.
Yes.
And then they announced that they were going to make a flat version of the game called Enhanced, and they were going to upgrade the visuals and do all this stuff to it.
Right.
But that didn't include the VR version.
Hmm.
So they only upgraded a flat version on the console. On the
Right.
PC, you can play the upgraded version in VR.
That is odd.
What?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
that's very, very odd.
Why wouldn't they just make so that whole thing just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
Yeah.
No, but The Persistence is a really cool game, and it's not just VR only, so it is one everybody can enjoy. you know,
Absolutely.
at this
Right.
point on
Now, I
Steam,
mean, it is-
on PlayStation.
I wonder how it would play flat. Because
it'd
in
be
a lot of
fine.
cases, games like that lose that atmosphere that really draws you into it.
Yeah,
You know, especially when your premise is kind of horror, right?
Yeah.
Like when it's all about the feeling of your enemy is literally like right the fuck there.
Yeah.
You know, like that does add another layer of tension.
I love coming up, putting that shit in the back of their neck,
Yeah, yeah, right.
stealth killing them.
Yeah, it's a really good one. As far as other roguelikes, man, I can't think of.
Those are our favorites. Those
Yeah,
are
right.
absolutely
Right. I feel like there should be more, but there.
I mean, there are more.
No.
There are
I mean, more that I
absolutely-
love, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, huh? Are there really not more roguelikes that I? Huh. Wow. I guess that is. That's
So
like
what's
top
up with
5.
Darkest
That's it.
Dungeon?
Never played it.
Isn't Darkest Dungeon like an RPG roguelike?
It's. I don't know if it's a roguelike.
See, I
I
thought
know
it
it's
was-
like a
I thought it was
straightforward
that.
like.
I thought it was an RPG.
I knew it
just
was
straight
RPG, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I really thought it had roguelike elements
Yeah.
too.
I
where
mean,
you
there's
die,
Maybe it
Chasm.
does. That's a
get-
possibility.
Yeah.
Chasm's a roguelike.
Chasm,
But
yeah.
I mean, I've
Never
never
played
played that.
Yeah,
I've never.
I also
and
have
I've
not
only
played
ever
that.
heard like not that great of things about it.
Man.
You know?
Well, the ones we talked about are the winners.
Are the winners.
And there's no other roguelikes.
That's
For
right. These
real.
are the
world.
only. We got them all.
Got
Yeah, I'm a little.
complete.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed. I'm like, I should have something else to think about as far as roguelikes, and I simply do not, man. No. Oh yeah, Spelunky, Faster Than Light.
Yeah,
Now,
actually,
okay,
Oh,
there we
yeah.
are.
Spelunky
I'm like,
and
I know
Spelunky
that there are
2
more.
Spelunky's
just
good.
came out. Just came out on the Switch.
Yeah,
so
Spelunky 2
I'm
just
probably
launched.
gonna
Yeah.
both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a bundle.
And I guess the reasoning is because a lot of these are PC exclusive.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of them are just smaller platform. God damn it,
What?
Toe Jam and Earl.
Whoa, that's a
roguelike?
roguelike?
Toe Jam
That's
and Earl.
a rogue?
If you think about the original Toe Jam and
Whoa,
Earl, that's totally a
yeah.
roguelike.
Weird.
That is totally a roguelike.
Yeah, I would have never put them that
Right?
in. Would never thought about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's
Okay.
literally what you do. You sit there and try to get as many presents as you can and get as far as you can until you die.
There's one that I played for a while there that was a ASCII graphics, the ASCII. ASCII. I know. Like that's the thing when you say it, it makes it sound like these graphics are so
I always said
ASCII.
ASCII.
ASCII, whatever.
Yeah,
That's the
ASCII.
thing. Yeah, ASCII, whatever. But it's all like ats and stars and all that stuff. It's all text based. But it was a really fun little roguelike that I played for a while there. I can't remember what it's called though. It's PC exclusive.
Yeah.
Probably could run on the graphing calculator. Like it's there's
Crypt of a Necrodancer.
Crypt of Necrodancer is really cool.
I'm just like, I know that there are more.
That's another one.
And
Cadence of Hyrule, which is just
Zelda
spin.
Yeah,
those games
are
cool. Wonderful.
Right.
Those games are so fun. Okay, there's another roguelike that I really like.
Yeah.
So there's my three. Hades, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Rogue Legacy.
There you go. Yeah.
Right on.
There's a mod for I think it's for Doom 2. But that would be pretty much everything. But it's a roguelike version of Doom. Yeah, so it's just a specific mod, so you load up into a random whatever, and they randomize everything in the map.
Right.
And you just deal with it till you die. But it's just Doom.
Right.
You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a really good mod for Doom. I played that one.
Yeah, I think I did play that mod. And
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
like,
I think
okay,
I've
well,
seen
if
that.
you just want to play Doom
Yeah.
forever, then that's a good way to go
They
about
should
it.
do that with the new Doom.
That would be awesome.
It'd be amazing.
It would
They
be
should
awesome.
do that. They should do
usually
that.
balancing is the hardest part with
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
You know,
They-
but with a game like Doom Eternal, who fucking cares
Who
about
cares?
balance?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
balance is out the window anyway.
Randomize everything and make the maps
And
random.
let me
then-
suffer.
Suffer.
They
That's
should do that.
exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should do that with the Quake 1.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Yeah.
Dude.
By the way, Quake 1 relaunched.
I've been playing that shit all week.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't know if
dude.
you guys
I'm-
watch Modern Vintage Gamer. You ever watch that guy?
No.
He helped develop it. He's a
Really?
yeah. I think he's Australian. But yeah, he's been working in the mod scene forever, and he's always talking about
That re-release is great, dude.
Yeah, the re-release is amazing.
It looks
and,
good.
and
It
he
feels
helped make
good.
it.
It's fucking
it's
Quake.
more. It's Quake. It's just Quake again.
I think it's great if you're nostalgic.
It's $10, dude.
I'm not.
That's
I'm
just
just not.
10.
I'm not a
10.
nostalgic gamer like
But
that.
10, dude.
I mean, I get it.
Can you say so much to 10?
I get it. I
Right.
get it. I played
10.
through the first like 3 or 4 levels, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's Quake.
It's Quake.
I've
But
just,
it
I've just
also-
done that for
But
hours.
you know what it
I just
also
don't feel
does
the need
is
to
it
do today.
includes all 3 of the old expansions
Oh God, I would never play through all
and
of
a
that.
new one that they made just
I
for
would
this.
never
Boy.
play through all of
Yeah.
that. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Probably
There's
not.
no way.
Probably not.
Nope.
No.
If you put it in VR, we can talk about it.
Oh
But
man,
if
Yeah.
playing it flat,
Yeah.
I would never. I would never do
I
it
love
again.
it.
I want them to put Quake 4 in VR.
Yeah.
Since
Now,
I've already-
now we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can go that direction.
Yeah.
Or UT.
Yeah.
But outside of
Uh-huh.
that, man, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Now, if they gave it like an overhaul, if they gave it like a graphical facelift, right?
Yeah.
And then gave you the option to play with those original sprites or the
new
new
stuff.
The new ones.
Right.
What-
you
what
know,
game
and
is
make
that
it
where
so
you
you
can
can
switch
change
back
it
and
on the
long as
fly.
you had-
If
What
they
game
gave
is
it
that?
like that,
As
What game
long-
is that?
if they made it like
Halo?
that was
Halo.
no.
The
They
Master
did
Chief
that-
Collection.
the
They did
Master
that.
Chief
They did,
Collection.
yes.
Yeah, Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, but someone else did that as well. It was like an old like a PlayStation era, a PlayStation 2 era game. They did the same thing. But if you gave me an option like
Is it
that,
Crash or something?
then
Might
I
be.
wish. But if they did something like that, no, it was Spyro.
It was
Spy-
Spyro.
yeah.
See, I was close.
Yeah,
I was
it was
close.
Spyro.
Yeah.
If you had that option,
Is it
then
Gex?
I'd be.
Everything's
I kinda
Gex.
I miss Gex.
I do miss
You know what else
Gex.
I miss?
Yeah,
I miss
for real.
Cool Spot.
Dude,
The fun, it's
Spot.
funny
I like
that,
Cool
that
Spot
you
a
related
lot.
Gex to Cool Spot because they both got the glasses.
Well,
they
you
both
know,
stand cool.
and it was
they
a
both had
time,
the,
same
there was a
era,
time.
you know, same era.
Everybody had Tood.
You know, everybody had Tood. Oh
Everybody
yeah,
had that
absolutely,
Tood.
absolutely. Even back then, Bart Simpson had Tood.
Bart
And
Simpson.
Everybody did.
You know?
Sonic had to.
Sonic had. Oh yeah.
Sonic
He had
was
all
the
Tood. He
Tooties.
was the
He
Tooties.
was.
Yeah, he was super.
Until they
Tood.
made Shadow.
You know.
He's Tood Lord over
No,
there.
Right.
he's not.
Knuckles.
Shadow
came
doesn't
and-
have Tood. He's just edgy.
He's just edgy. Oh,
Yeah.
because he has
There's
a
a
gun.
Fucking school shooter
Yeah,
over
take-
here.
Take this kid's mascot and give him a gun.
That's right. That's a great idea.
Jesus.
So I think we're.
Yeah, this is running
That's
long.
That's about it.
I think we're pretty much done, guys. Thank you so much for.
Can we keep talking about Hades?
We will after. Let me get through this, guys. Thank you for listening and watching and getting in the chat and all that stuff.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you so much for Moth and Wolf moderating our chat, and you guys doing good job.
Moderation.
Thank you. Moderation, not in moderation.
Everything's in moderation.
Guys, check us out on YouTube and what is it?
See?
Yeah, Anchor, Spotify.
Click links.
Yeah, links.
Go.
Links
Click-
right
yeah,
here.
just
Right
click
here. Go to
links.
Patreon.
Yeah, right.
Buy us coffee. And hey, so by the way, I do need to say this: the last few episodes haven't been up on Spotify or Google Podcasts because apparently they're too long or too big. But we're
wow.
going
Working on
to
it.
fix that.
Yeah, we're working
I'm
on it.
working on that tomorrow.
We'll get the old ones on
We'll
there.
get the other ones on. But thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us. And goodbye.
Goodbye. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.